Hello and welcome to the podcast that must not be named. I am currently Melissa.
I am mostly Luke today.
And we are also joined by first-time reader.
Sometimes Riley.
That's right.
Sometimes Riley. Perfect.
And we are here watching the Warner Brothers production of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So, gather your movie, insert disc, find it on Amazon or wherever you find your movies.
Once you get to the disc title screen, press play
now.
A little bit different this time on this. It's a Warner Brothers Through the Clouds. I like it. Because last time we opened up, this was more of the moving into the street scene.
Oh, that's right.
The Privet Drive.
I noticed that we go straight to the words after the Warner Brothers credit. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't.
Right.
So,
There's not like action and then, hey, movie title screen. It's title screen. Let's get on to it.
Yeah.
Sunset?
Ooh.
I assume sunset. Lights
Nice
are popping on.
Lots
of houses.
Lots of very, very similar boring houses.
Thank you very much.
Nice, but very boring.
They were perfectly normal.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Wait, wrong book. Ooh, Harry has a room now. Did you notice that they didn't actually address the fact in the first book that he moved out of his cupboard?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, book 2, bam, you have a room. And here he is looking at the photo album that Hagrid gave him at the end of the first movie.
That somehow has pictures of him and his friends in it. When did they have pictures taken of them?
No idea.
Yeah. And it was the hairstyles that they have in this movie.
Yeah. 1 month later. That's one of the biggest problems I've always had is like the 1 month aging process.
Right.
Tends to be quick.
Now, we skipped a couple of things to get to this scene here, which is, the Masons are about to show up.
Yeah.
We skipped Dudley talking to Harry in the garden scene and then Harry sees Dobby's eyes in the hedge. We skipped that. It's not really needed, but that was a missed.
But I think that's something that opening exposition, we didn't need it. So
absolutely, yeah. No,
looking
I agree.
at a photo album for 10 seconds, done.
Sure. Dudley looks a little bit more like he could throw his body around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite so whiny like he was in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
The year it's melting has done well.
More of a bully at this point, maybe. Mm.
Oh, here we go. We're going to practice. What are you going to say?
I love this scene.
I love that she's wearing an apron over the dress, but the apron won't actually do any good because if she spills as she's making her thing, it's going to go on the top where there is no apron.
I think it's more of wiping your hands off.
Those aprons always drive me crazy. And you?
I like this change. The pretending you don't exist. It's a good movie change because it says pretending I'm not there.
I still think it's better. Like, I think because every time we would say it in the book, I would say, oh. Right.
I think this is a good movie change. It's funnier.
I agree.
They only do it once, though.
True. It's not as funny without the
Everybody's
repeating.
Favorite character.
Oh, look, it's Dobby. He looks way too happy jumping on the bed, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's a very small room. So, Dobby's here, not to be rude. I don't know. Do you think Dobby fits what you thought it would be?
Like, look of him?
Yes.
It's hard. That's hard for me to go back and reimagine now. Like, the first time I read it compared to...
Because this is
I've seen him so many now.
Right.
Like, it's close, I think, overall. The bat-like ears, the big, huge eyes, big round eyes. It's similar.
Yeah. I noticed that his trunk is in the room, and he's got some Hogwarts stuff. Not a lot, but just a few things hanging on the walls.
I noticed there's a banner, and there's a sticker on his wardrobe.
Scarf or something.
He's got some books
somewhere.
up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go. Self-mutilation. I like that he only has like one dresser that he has to put Hedwig on. I really like how small they made his room. I appreciate.
It's a good size for what it's supposed to symbolize.
But it's also surprising that the Dursleys would have a room like this, because this was the guest bedroom, right?
This was Dudley's toy room, his
Dudley's
extra special toy space.
Right. They had a 4-bedroom house, and he still had to live in the cupboard.
Right.
Because I think there's still another guest room.
Yes, that Aunt Marge sleeps in when she comes to visit. Oh, Dobby.
There's the tie on the wall that I think.
Yeah, that's what it was, a tie, not a scarf. But I thought I saw a scarf maybe hanging on like a closet door.
Maybe. There's a sticker on his wardrobe.
I find it very odd that he's allowed to have those things hanging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get aesthetically that he probably puts it up just for himself. I'm sure it comes down when he leaves for the summer.
Oh, yeah. No, he brings those with him for sure. This room is barren when he's not there.
It's like there's nobody else there.
Right. Notice there's like pencils that just got knocked over. Oh, lamp to the nose.
So this movie, compared to, again, some of the ones we see later on, Daniel Radcliffe's acting is a little not quite there yet.
No.
I think is what we'll see. That's at least my take on it. But I also think he has some of the more challenging things to deal with in this movie. Dealing with the green screen, the character of Dobby.
Right.
That's hard to act with, especially he's 13 years old.
Right.
When he's the actor on this. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I get why maybe there are times where people are like, yeah.
So, and I see our scarf is hanging on the back of the trunk. I do like that he ruined the punchline to the golfer joke.
You ruined.
Ooh. What did he just have in his hand? Was that like a sock or something?
Yeah, it was like a sock hanging on his ear.
How did he touch the sock?
Well, he did. Okay, so he was just in Harry's closet.
Right, but maybe it's because it wasn't handed to him.
So in the end of the book, Dobby said that Master threw a sock to me and I caught it.
Okay.
So Malfoy rips it out of the book and tosses it.
All right. I'm just making sure because that would alleviate some of my concerns about laundry. Because if I want a house elf, I want them to do laundry. And I was concerned about the clothing thing. But if they just can't, if they can touch clothes,
things, I think is the idea.
But not be handed them. Like they could pick up their own the laundry basket and do the laundry.
I think the way it's written is they can't do laundry.
Except that he just had the sock on his ear and pulled it off because he got one on his ear when he was shoved in the closet. So, very odd moment.
Yeah.
And then Dobby snaps his fingers, and here we have floating pudding. Which again, here goes Harry trying to save something he should have not stuck his nose in. That is not how I pictured the pudding, by the way. In my head, it was a big giant bowl.
Yeah,
I agree.
English pudding.
Oh, there it goes.
Come on, why are you holding your hands like that?
Yeah, it's pretty...
This is the whole thing where it's like, just stay in your room, man.
Uh-huh.
And don't walk at it like you're holding it out in front of you.
Well, or magicking it. Because that's what the Dursleys saw.
But even if the mace doesn't turn around right there,
right.
It looks like he was holding his hands out like he had just dropped it. So it works on both sides.
Ooh, he put them up himself in the book. He hired somebody. Freaky friends.
It's the second time he said that.
The book says Witch Owl, by the way. It's an interesting book title choice. The book that his glasses are sitting on says Witch Owl. Yeah. Notice that he's not waking up to eyes right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those moments that bothers me because we lost some of the opening stuff, right? We didn't get the big scene with I'll be in my room making no noise and pretending I'm not there. How funny that was. We only got that once. But instead of him waking up to Ron right there, let's take an extra minute and see the car fly up.
This one, I like the cinema of it. It's cool seeing the car flying from a third-person perspective, which we won't get really without stretching it. Which it gets stretched later.
Okay.
Pack up all your stuff.
I do like this change of his stuff just being in the room. I'm okay with it not being locked up.
Yeah, but they also don't get the lock picking.
How'd they get How'd they get the rope tied to the bottom of the car when they were in it, when it was flying?
Good question.
Pre-tied.
Because it's not like they knew.
Nah, it was not tied on when they flew up.
I like how long it takes them to unlock the door.
And they're like maneuvering the car around like they had the trunk and then
Mm-hmm.
This I thought was a little bit
dramatic.
cheesy. Yeah, over dramatic because I think they don't grab him in the book, does he?
I think he just gets away.
I think he does, but there's not like the dragging him out the window.
No.
Oh yeah, and he falls out.
I think all three of them are holding on to him, but they just fall back inside.
Right.
The falling out the window is it's a little much.
And those are the kinds of things. I'm not saying it wouldn't be funny if this was an original movie, but this book didn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Those are the things that always have bothered me in general about the movies.
But we don't spend a lot of time here, which is good. The movie gets right
Yeah,
to
it
the
gets right to-
it gets right to
Right.
this book, which is good. It doesn't recap at all.
No, I'm glad they
Burrow.
skipped that. Yay,
First time
Burrow.
here, right?
Yeah. What do you think your first time seeing the Burrow, Riley?
Like when I watched the movie,
I guess
Now that you're
Both?
seeing it
Yeah.
after having read it.
I think it's a little nicer than I
not as
expected.
run down as you thought.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be real dingy.
Mine is more like I don't think it's as crooked and held together by magic as I
There
would have-
wasn't as much of like a close up to see that. It definitely looks like
Right.
it's been built on and stacked up
Right.
oddly, but yeah. I love this inside the Burrow
Yeah.
stuff. There's just like
So
house
much going
chores
on.
being done by themselves.
I
Like
love the clock. They got the clock right.
I know it's not how I
Dentist,
ever
prison,
imagined it,
lost,
but
school.
it's a good rendition of it for sure. And I remember playing the video game of Chamber of Secrets,
Yeah.
and this floor plan is exactly what's in there. So like this, I like the feel of
You
it.
pull the
We got to explain it or
gnomes out of
explore it
the
a little more.
garden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love
What a
Mrs.
saber-toothed
Weasley.
tiger!
No note.
Completely reasonable. Leave a note at least. Run off,
Yeah.
that's fine. Just leave a note at least.
Right.
A minimum.
Let me know where you are. I love that Ron always has food in his mouth.
Yeah,
Oh, now we see Ginny coming down the stairs in her bathrobe.
Have you seen my jumper? Oh God.
On the cat. Oh, her face. Like, that moment there was better than the books trying to
Oh, yeah,
explain
definitely.
that.
And that's one of the beauties of what movies can do.
Like a visual
Get
medium.
right to the point without saying, hey, this is what it looked like.
Uh-huh.
That's very well done. I love Mr. Weasley's entrance. He's like, the morning Weasleys, like, you know, it's a good family scene.
He is not how I pictured Mr. Weasley. I don't know what I pictured, but he was not it. Maybe a mustache. I don't know.
I agree. I think a mustache.
I expected more of a slimmer man. You know, like
Uh-huh.
not that he's a bigger guy. I just meant like real, like lanky,
Thin.
thing.
Yes.
Thinner, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially because some of the Weasleys are... Mrs. Weasley's always been described as, for lack of a better word, dumpy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think
hate that word.
plump. A plump witch is
Right.
how she's very often.
And I
described.
get the idea that Fred and George sort of take off her family, like they're stockier. But
and
Ron...
Bill,
No, Charlie.
Charlie, you're right.
But
Yep.
Bill and
Stouter.
Percy and Ron
are
are
the
really
taller, lanky.
and lanky, which I always assume came from the dad.
Right.
And yet you don't see that there.
Mm-hmm.
He owl
Errol, good slapstick humor, done very
right
well.
into
I
the
think.
window. I like Percy's bent hair.
He looks very Neil Patrick Harris here to me.
Yeah,
Yes,
he does.
I agree with that. In one envelope. I like that some of those lines are still there, but of course, the Hogwarts letters did not come his first morning there. Like
Yeah,
they
they
skipped
skipped a couple days here.
like the week.
We didn't denome the garden. We didn't play two-a-side Quidditch at all.
We didn't see Ron's room.
Right.
Yeah, we get straight to the flu powder.
Do you think we lost out not seeing like the denoming and things like that?
I'm fine not doing the denoming. I think we lost out by not showing that time passed. I feel like this is all the same day.
Yeah.
It's like this is later that morning that they got there.
He didn't actually get to spend the rest of his summer there.
Right. Like if they had just shown, again,
A
10,
passage.
30-second montage of just life at the Burrow, I think I'd be fine.
Like, it's not just Hogwarts that Harry relishes in. It's the Wizarding World. You
Right.
know?
And I know, Luke, earlier on in our book discussion, you said one of your favorite things is just seeing what life is like.
Absolutely.
Oh,
The
Wizarding
everyday
World.
Wizarding World stuff is easily my favorite.
They skipped it here.
Right.
They skipped this option.
And I didn't even count, like, necessarily the, hey, shopping in Diagon Alley stuff, like, in that. Like, that's being a part of the
Right.
Wizarding World, but it's not the everyday life-to-life stuff.
Right. I like that extra part where the parents were like,
What
what
he
did he
did?
say? Diagonally?
Diagonally?
That's what I thought he said. Oh, here we go. Borgin and Burks.
So this scene's a little bit different, obviously. The Malfoys don't come in the movie. So that changes some of the conversations we've had about things that are placed here that get brought
Right.
up and mentioned at least later on.
I mean, we
do see the shrunken head.
Mm-hmm.
is that the necklace in the background
It
there?
very well could be. I like, and if that's the case, I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out. But that's a really good drop.
Product placement.
Yeah,
I don't think book 6 was out.
and this is not the
Yeah.
Hand of Glory, but
No, because the Hand of Glory
should
holds
be
a light.
holding a candle.
Yes. But this is more dramatic for the movie, so I get it. I'm
And it's
okay with
creepy.
it.
You're supposed to.
But what's it for?
I
don't know.
I feel like it needs a purpose.
remember a lot of this video game, Luke.
Yeah,
Like, this is
Yeah.
probably one of the ones that I remember the most. I don't know if we just played it the most or...
yeah. I don't know. I think we had it on a computer, right?
I think we lose something not meeting the Malfoys there.
I do too.
Yeah.
Especially the line of
It just
Lucius
seems-
saying, I have some things I need to get rid of. And the line, I have important business elsewhere today.
Right.
Which
Leads into
I think the important business is planting the
the
thing.
diary.
Right.
Hagrid's there to save the day. Some creepy people down there. Just like,
Naturally-
where are they going to take that kid, you know?
That was a little
Right.
bit different, but again, it quickly gets to this is creepy and things are
Right.
weird.
I mean, there were definitely people he ran into when he was down there. There was more dialogue.
there wasn't
with
necessarily like the swarming of
Yeah.
everyone
No.
turning on him
it. But there was definitely creepy people. And I think it got that feeling of,
much quicker, and that's
Yes.
fine.
uh-huh.
Why are flesh-eating slugs eating cabbages?
It's a good question.
That's a really good question. Why aren't they pumpkin eating repellent? Why don't you need pumpkin eating slug repellent? Or cabbage eating slug repellent?
I don't know.
In the book, it was Mr. Weasley who fixed his glasses.
Mm.
Well, we have to give Hermione all of the good magic stuff, so
That's right.
I think she's a little overused in the books and
Oculus
the movies.
Potato.
Magical knee!
Oh.
I
It's
love
such a
it.
good cover. He's-
And like the funniest thing about Gilderoy Lockhart in the movies is that it's played by, what's his name? It's going to bother me. Kenneth Branagh, who's like this huge Shakespearean actor and director. He played Hamlet in like the 1990s version of it. He directed the first Thor movie, and it's very Shakespearean. Like, he's very
proper,
yeah. And for
which
him,
is perfect.
but for him, no. See, I've had such a hard time
I love
justifying it.
I love how dirty Harry is and how clean, like, and pristine Lockhart is right here.
That's a really good job to the props department and like the makeup and hair and continuity to know that he's still supposed to be gross and dirty.
To
All
a
of
point.
the Weasleys kind of look like that.
And that's my problem with it. I agree that Harry should be dirty and dusty because he went flying across the floor and all this. I think just because they all traveled through flute powder doesn't mean they should be covered in soot. Like, I
Makes it
don't know. I
seem
think if
like
you do it
a
right, maybe you shouldn't be.
Grimy way to travel.
It's
maybe.
just supposed to show that they're poor and
Yeah.
they
Which
can't
is-
clean it. Which is,
Bad.
that's where
Uh-huh.
I like that Harry is, but not all the
Uh-huh.
Weasleys. If that's fair to say. I like this scene moves quicker. You know, like, I do think we miss out on the kids kind of going around and just being in Diagon Alley for
Yes.
a little bit. They don't do a whole lot, but they go and eat ice cream, at least.
Right.
It's just nice, them being friends because of the first time they've seen each other in months.
But I do see why they don't do it. I'm okay
Yeah,
with it.
I get it. It's,
You can't show everything. And
Oh, Ginny's getting a little angry.
oh yeah.
Oh, I love Lucius Malfoy.
Won't you marry him?
Sorry, he's kind of taken. What's that actor's name again? Will you look that one up for me? Because I should know these, and I don't. Jason Isaacs. That's right.
He was on video. It's the best.
I know.
The video X-ray is awesome. What do you think about him putting his cane on Harry's forehead like that? Like it's
Like using it to move to see the scar. I mean, I think that kind of shows how most people feel about Harry. Ooh, let me see. He doesn't ask. He just does it.
it's very forceful.
And I think it's a good character choice.
We do see her parents.
Slightly.
We see them again here in just a second, I think, too.
Vacant expressions. Picking up the book.
Weasleys.
Oh,
Weasley Senior.
I like that he mentions the raid since we missed him talking about it with
It's at
Borgin and
least
Brooke.
gets it in there.
Right.
It's again not forgetting about it and doing it differently.
Right.
It's decently done.
I wonder which book of Ginny's he has there because it doesn't look very
In-
textbooky.
In the book, it's supposed to be her transfiguration book.
Right.
Also, we don't see him having an opportunity to really switch things out or put something in there.
Well, keep an eye on this next part here. So it's there. You can see both being in there.
But you also see Harry see it. Or at least it looks
Yeah,
like
it
he
looks like
notices.
it's a lot more
Showed his
obvious than I
face,
think it
yeah.
should have
which
been.
is annoying.
Yeah. It's too big of a diary. Like, it should be smaller and concealed within the entire book. Like, you should be able to see
Right.
it outside the lines.
Right.
So Malfoy also says, see you at work. Malfoy doesn't work at the ministry. I think it's because he's going to be there because he's in and out all
And I
the
think
time.
he's making fun of him that he has to work. That's how I
Right.
always
see
took
you
it.
at your work because I don't.
Right.
Get
Through
straight
the barrier.
through. Ginny's first time.
I always have a problem with the fact that they go and leave the two 12-year-old boys. Like, couldn't somebody, and they don't pay attention.
So that happens to the middle child.
He's not even the middle.
Yeah.
He's the second to last. Oh man, poor Hedwig. Right in the head.
And Ron just goes full over.
There's Harry Thomas again.
Yes.
Same guy.
Same guy
I think
as
it's
the
Harry
first movie.
Thomas. Harry Taylor.
Yes. Same guy.
Yep.
That's really funny. He just shakes his head. I have nothing to do with his
Yep.
voice.
I love that they had him there again.
I do too,
It's just
because first of all, it gives him more work, but second of all, it shows that it really is the same people who work there
Hey,
here
this guy still works at the King's Cross station.
on September 1st.
Right.
Right.
So dumb. Ron, so dumb. Maybe they can't get back. So dumb. Like, I just always have problems with that.
Which is not what happened in the book.
It's not too terribly different.
He doesn't say that they can't get back through. He says they don't need the car.
That's true.
He's the one who says, let's take the car.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad don't need the car. They
Harry
can
does mention we should go wait by the car. And then Ron says, the car. Brilliant. Let's use the car.
Right.
Yeah.
But he even says, like, they don't need the car. They can just apparate. Like, his reaction to the parents is they don't need it. Not, oh, they're going to be stuck. Movie Ron's a little dimmer. I see that they use the invisibility shield like for a minute.
Well, we wouldn't be able to see him.
True.
In the book, it's on almost all the time, but it comes out every once in a while.
Right. I will say, you were talking about Daniel Radcliffe's like acting not being quite, not that he's bad, but he's definitely a kid. I think Rupert Grint is similar.
Yeah.
I think Rupert was better in movie 1, but I think it's a younger character and it fit more. I think I don't know.
Whereas I think in movie 1, I was questionable. Like Hermione was questionable to me, but I don't know, and we haven't seen her much. But
Yeah.
she's not one that I worry about too much anymore. This part drives me crazy. The train almost hitting the car, like this whole, and then the car flying and going through the Really?
CGI, early 2000s. Let's show it off.
How is this?
And
Harry almost falls out of the car. How is this relevant? Seriously.
Gets more action going right at the beginning.
Do we need the action? Like, look at all the time you're wasting. But I'm very negative. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, this is definitely not my favorite movie. So I think they probably were trying things. Because, I mean, it's a lot of the same kind of story as the first one, you know?
I think something that you had said in the end of book discussion that the whole group discussion was there's not really a whole lot of action until the very end of this book.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for the movie, they feel like they got to do the cool thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Melissa loves. Christopher Columbus has to keep it interesting and
look,
do these big
sweeping shot
swooping
of Hogwarts.
shots.
But this one makes sense because they're actually flying in. That one I can forgive if they hadn't just done the big stupid, like, oh no, we almost got hit by a train, fly out of the car thing.
Mm-hmm.
All of this part, the flying in around Hogwarts, the car going crazy and malfunctioning, I can give them this. You're right though, Riley. Early 2000 CGI is a little rough.
I mean, yeah. But they have to show it off, you know, because it's possible. When it first came out.
Mind the tree.
This part always bothers me too, that his wand broke pre-crash on the tree.
Mm-hmm. It should have broken because of the tree.
Because of, yes.
Some of the whomping.
Or the crashing into the tree itself, not just I tapped it too hard on the steering wheel. It's little things like that I feel like they did it. We have to make sure that you see him break his wand. No, you can just do it right there.
What do you think of the look of the Whomping Willow?
Can I say I like it better in the next? Because we see it again.
Yeah, we do see it again later.
And it changes. The look of it.
A bit, yeah.
The location of it changes.
It's not quite so close.
Well, in general, and I know I'm getting ahead because it's the next movie.
The geography and map of Hogwarts
shifts
ever changing.
It's really between 2 and 3 that it makes its biggest shift. Because that's when Chris Columbus stops being the director and becomes just a producer. And I like it better in 3 and then going forward. Because from going forward, I feel like even if I'm looking at something in book 5, in movie 5, I can see how that might fit into the world created in 3. You can't see how it fits in the world in 1 and 2. The buildings are different.
I love that the car just throws them out of it and all their stuff.
Woo!
Here comes Hedwig. And Scabbers.
I like that we see Scabbers.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that he's mentioned. You always get a lot of Hedwig. You don't get a lot of Scabbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that that's why he thinks that Dad's going to be mad. Because he loses the car. Literally, the car runs off.
That's exactly from the book, too.
I know.
It's to that point where he's like, oh no, maybe we made a mistake.
I do like that they put their stuff there with all the other stuff. But in the book, they're looking through the window with Snape. And it's Snape, not Filch, who catches them. Although I love this line.
David Bradley's so good.
He's so good at being creepy.
We are in trouble.
Right there. And then the look. Seriously, he plays that guy over and over again.
I think they decided to change it to Filch there for a pretty decent reason. We have to have more FaceTime with Filch.
Right.
For when Mrs. Norris
because
becomes
he's important
a thing.
in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think it's fair.
I
Have
like that
Filch
he
be the
goes
guy
and
that
gets
catches
Snape.
them, and Snape be the guy that dishes out the punishment.
I like the tree that's been there before you were born. I like that that's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all, and I like that we're in Snape's office because look at all of the ingredients. I like the product placement, right? If you're gonna need something. Oh man, they brought in the big guns. Did they though? They didn't magic the car.
They've been seen.
Oh,
It's not underage
secrecy.
magic necessarily,
Got it,
but it's the
got it.
statutory secrecy. They get a lot more to the point in this scene too, because in the book they spend time with Snape, and then he goes to get.
Yeah, I'm okay
McGonagall.
with this being
It's a
shorter
good
too.
change.
Yeah. Again, like I'm fine with shortening. I'm not fine with you cutting whole things out to do things like flying bridge scenes.
This movie, the reason this is the longest movie is because
This
it
is
really
the longest
does.
movie,
Yeah,
Yeah,
2 hours and 40 minutes
Okay.
from tape to tape.
right?
This, I will say, sticks the closest to specifically what the book does overall.
You can see. Sorry, as we're doing another crane shot. I like this crane shot because it takes us into the
Herbology.
Greenhouses.
Yeah.
which we haven't seen before. So I appreciate that. I just hope we don't have them over and over again.
Mm-hmm. This movie really tries to stick specifically to the lines of the book,
Which is nice.
which
Yeah.
is nice. A lot of people don't like that as much because that's what makes it so long sometimes. But movie one took a lot of stuff out and just made it a movie.
It did.
This was definitely more of a, let's make the book a movie, which is good for me. I love it.
Me too.
I know you love it.
I love that look that Sprout gives her.
The first time we've seen Sprout, right? She wasn't in the last movie. Is that correct?
She was
Or
at
at
the
least
top of the.
She might have
Great
been like
Hall,
around,
I
but it
think.
wasn't that. It probably wasn't that actress.
So
it was
first-
probably just somebody,
Playing that part.
right, like an extra
What are you
background.
thoughts on her?
Oh, that's exactly how I would picture.
I think
Sprout.
she's very good.
I love the costume.
I like that she's charismatic. Like she's really loud. Like that just seems like it fits.
Yes.
The type of class that she has because very hands on. Oh man, mandrakes.
It's a little creepy.
I don't like the mandrakes.
Well, you're not supposed to like them, but I think they're pretty funny. Like, I like the idea of
Just leave them there.
just leave them there because Neville passes out, which does not happen in the book. Oh, look, another time Neville gets. God, they're so ugly, aren't they?
Yeah. I do like this, Draco. Get his
He's an
finger bit.
idiot. And that's exactly what Draco would do, except that in the book, the Slytherins are not in class. But I'm okay with
There's
them all
John
being together.
Cleese.
Also known as Nearly Headless Nick. Which,
We just had a passing reference to Penelope Clearwater walking with Percy.
walking together. Nice job.
Fellow
Taping it.
tape. You doomed. Colin Creevy.
Oh my
God,
gosh.
I hate it.
He is cast very well.
I should have picked Colin as my least favorite character.
Yeah, nobody really talked about Colin.
It's because he got taken out so early.
Yeah.
Errol.
Errol.
Cheesy, but it's good. Like it's
I'm
just
okay
the
with
right
it.
amount,
Yes.
I think. It
Yes.
doesn't hurt anything to do it.
And it doesn't take any extra time.
Right.
How do you feel about the Howler being CGI lips?
It's definitely a little different than how I envisioned it, but I don't dislike it. Like, it's a little goofy. I thought it'd be more magical other than, like, animated. Like, animating the letter itself. I thought it'd be more of, like, a puff of smoke kind of thing or something.
Or just the
the words shouting.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Great. Thanks for mentioning me, Mom. That right there.
The raspberry.
Yeah.
Too much.
It's mom.
Yeah.
It's a mom yelling. You're not going to do that as a mom yelling at your kid.
Only a good mom would.
Not in the middle of that kind of rant.
No.
That's saved for other situations.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smarmy host.
You don't even need to do it because it's exactly how he sounds.
Me. Third class.
I like that there's a painting of him painting a painting
himself.
of himself. And he winks at it.
He is so much
Wow.
better in the movie.
Yeah, he is.
Like-
I don't know. They're all like. I think as the movie goes on, like as the years go on, I watch the movie. I like this Gilderoy better, but in my brain, it just that didn't look like this.
Okay.
But I think it's really hard. That's my biggest problem with movies is that once you
see it,
cast a person,
it's hard to pull that person out of it.
well, like the worst one ever, it's not a Harry Potter movie, it's Hunger Games. They've ruined PETA for me.
I hate the character in general, so I won't.
I don't hate the character, but I absolutely hate the guy who
You don't like
played-
Josh Hutcherson?
Not as PETA.
I've never read the book, so
He's not PETA. Not at all, not even a little bit. And it bothers me every time. Because PETA should be just as attractive and just as big and burly as Gale, but in a like blonder, more suburban way. And Josh Hutcherson is a great actor, but he's little and you know what I mean? Like he just doesn't embody the role enough for me.
The Pixies are not how I imagine them.
How did you imagine them?
I don't know, more fairy-like. More like they look like little devils, little demons.
Look
Demons.
like Jim Henson Labyrinth type
Yeah,
evil guys.
like little gremlins almost.
Uh-huh. There's another reason why this book had the highest amount of unsuccessful magic, because Gilderoy Lockhart is not successful either.
And he runs away.
Not my picture, not my picture.
I think
Okay, take my picture.
The face in the picture's like, oh no.
I like that her spell freezes them all simply because we don't have time to catch everybody.
I just
Good
always had a
question,
problem with overpowered Hermione. It's just,
Yeah,
she's too good.
she's like 7 levels above everybody else.
Right.
Why is she even there?
Yeah.
Or an accelerated program?
Right, how's she not upgraded?
Where's the AP classes?
Upgraded. I'm sorry. I was just a funny way to
Yeah, I mean,
say it.
she should be in a higher
She should
higher
be
grade.
Upgraded. Well,
Upgrade.
I think that's really a question about the schooling systems in general. I got a note. Marcus Flint, the guy who went to school for 8 years.
And is very trollish.
Very trollish. I think they cast him pretty well.
I think so.
I mean, I don't think you're going to find anybody.
He's not quite as big and burly as he's described, but I don't think
Right.
that hurts the characters at all.
I don't like that some of the guys in the back are shorter than Malfoy. They should all be bigger than Malfoy.
Yeah. I like that the Nimbus 2001s are black. Like, they're clearly
2001s.
different.
I
You know,
love,
like-
I love that it's just the Nimbus 2001, not like a new brand of
Nope.
like it's just one better.
around like late 90s, that's how everything was. It was like up until 2000, like early 90s, everything, it was like, oh, the 2000 something. Like, that just happened on product placement all the time. Like, oh, the X2000. Like, that's the cool thing. But once you get there...
and like Windows 97, Windows 98, Windows 2000. Like
Windows
that was,
XP. Like, after you get to 2000, you can't just, 2002.
No, it's XP. Like, it stops dating itself.
But
They're like, hey, maybe we should stop
that is
putting
funny.
numbers on
And it's
there.
very 2002, which is when this movie came out. Or 98 even, when
slugs.
the book came out.
True. Oh, I can't even watch.
Oh, this is so gross.
I can't watch.
This is
Well, it
so
doesn't help
gross.
that I had a sick kid at my house last night, so like I really can't watch.
I don't necessarily like the changes that we're about to see here. This discussion of being a mudblood and Hermione being offended by it and knowing what it is. I like that in the book, Ron describes and explains what it is.
And it goes back to Hermione knowing too much and Ron being a little dimmer.
Exactly. Where these are the things that Ron brings to the knowledge pool. Like, I get he's puking.
Right. But he's still in the book
That's-
was able to do both.
Right. That is his role in this group. And they take
Right.
it away from him.
Yep. And give more to Hermione.
And I agree, she doesn't do that much in this book. So I think for the movie, they're overdoing it, giving her more things early on, like the fixing Harry's glasses that Arthur Weasley did. This discussion.
But I think it's okay that she didn't.
That's what I'm
maybe.
saying. I think she shouldn't. I think I like the book better. She
Well.
can't always do everything.
Yeah.
And later on, she really does do everything. So how about let Ron get the few things he does now?
Yeah, I don't see the point of the change, but he's struggling.
Oh, gross. So disgusting. And very realistic. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's a double entendre there. It's so disgusting. It's like because he had also just puked a slug, and the term, like the thought of being a mudblood, it's like just disgusting. Like, I like that Hagrid just like assumes he's saying how disgusting it is that people think that they're better than
right.
just because you're Muggleborn.
Oh, I do like that he-
Hagrid kills it here.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
This is the Hagrid we know and love.
Absolutely.
We do love Hagrid.
Yeah. And movie Hagrid in 1 was so much better too.
Mm-hmm. Detention with Lockhart. God, look at the stack of pictures. Waving on the broom. You know, he played Seeker. Gilderoy Lockhart.
They
Or
asked him to join
Ravenclaw.
the national team, but he decided to devote his life to defeating the dark arts.
And according to Pottermore, he really did. Like, maybe not the national team, but he really was going to.
Like, he's probably pretty decent at it. Like,
He
the
wasn't
Ravenclaw
terrible.
team?
Like, yeah, he was definitely like, a player. Sorry, what? I didn't hear the thing you are talking to. See, this didn't happen either. I mean, I get it. Let's address.
That's almost exactly from the book.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't remember him asking about
Yeah.
it. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. I like that he thinks this is fun. You hear
They do
voices.
change the timeline of this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They basically make this, which is coming up, the night that they find out that they find,
Filch.
Filch's
Filch's
cat,
cat.
Mrs. Norris,
I also don't.
which actually happened
Halloween.
the Death Day party,
Mhm.
Halloween,
Which they
gets
completely
skipped,
cut.
which is
And he's
fine,
going
I
right
guess.
to the walls. Like, I don't like how they.
He already knows that it's in there.
And I don't like the sound effects that are going with the voice.
It's like too
it's
dramatic.
played up. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but like,
And Hermione's already worried. Voice? What voice? How about just what
Like,
voice?
what are you talking
Right.
about? Do you hear the pipes?
it's moving.
They're really loud.
Right. Oh my gosh. And he's wandering through some other random hall that we've never seen before. So we
We see
have,
the spiders here.
which I'm okay with seeing the
I'm okay.
spiders
That
here.
makes more sense.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be 3 days later that the spiders are still marching.
I
in
also
file.
don't want them to waste time going 3 days later in a
Yeah.
movie. I like this part. Oh, and you can see the water and the reflection. So I like that was done well.
Yeah.
Do you think Hermione's the only one who can read? She always does that kind of thing, right? Oh, look, let's read something. Better be Hermione.
I don't see any scorch marks.
Because they realized that was dumb.
We need to tweet JK on that one. What were the scorch marks?
Right. Okay, well, we have no idea. I do like that moment with, okay.
Madame Pomfrey in there as well.
Oh, yeah. I have no idea why they all randomly just came to this spot. But
They
at
were-
least it isn't explained away by we're all going to bed, even though half of us live in the basement.
It was, yeah, odd though.
Yeah. It's very like, okay, everybody go now. Start walking. I like that Grab and Goyle just start giggling.
And I think that he goes straight to, I will kill you.
That? Pretty believable.
He just breaks, like, in front of all these kids.
I will say, get used to that group of teachers just showing up all together at the same time.
Yeah.
They travel in packs.
Well, I was going to say, I don't like earlier how when Harry and Ron showed up, why did Dumbledore, like, I'm assuming everybody else was still at the feast. Why did Dumbledore also have to leave the feast?
They did that in the book too, and it always bothered me also.
Like,
But they went,
McGonagall
Snape went to go
could've-
get them, and it was 10 minutes later when they came back.
Right, like maybe while everybody else was eating, they
Right.
came back and snuck out. and
Or
did
maybe
it.
that was like the feast was done.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
okay,
who
well,
knows?
we're done.
Right.
So,
No, because they were eating. Remember, they then gave them sandwiches and said, stay here until you finish because we don't want you walking in.
yeah,
So-
gloating.
Right. Oh, look, it's Snape defending them. Ish. Ah, wait, hold on.
It works.
Right.
This works. It's a change.
I kind of like that lie because it's similar to the lie in the book. I wasn't that I was hungry because remember they were like, oh, we're not hungry because we went to this or whatever.
They said, yeah, we were at the.
Right. It's not unbelievable.
It
and it
works.
kind of goes with Harry's like storytellingness.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Although I don't like that you're missing the Lockhart commentary. You know what I mean? If only I had caught him sooner. Oh, she's just petrified. Oh, I thought so. Like that would be good here. And I get that they're trying to like change
Slim it up a bit.
well, more like change the vibe because in that moment, that's really funny. They don't want that to be funny. So you take the funny away.
Mm-hmm.
Never take the funny away. I like the funny.
Yeah.
I like that you see the staircase is still moving. I appreciate that they still... You don't think so?
I don't like this staircase room. It's not in the books. It's entirely moved. I just don't like it.
They do talk about how staircases
They
move all
move,
the time.
but not like this.
But not in
like a
this-
huge tower of moving
Oh,
staircases.
I agree with you. I don't like their stair, but I
I've
like
gotten
that
used to it.
throwback to.
And they
It was
keep-
never mentioned in this book that staircases move, but I like that they made a point of keeping the things from book 1. Now it'll all change for movie 3.
No Professor Binns at all, which is,
No.
again, fine.
Who?
Professor Binns, the history of magic teacher,
Oh, yeah.
the ghost teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just giving Maggie Smith more to do,
They should always give Maggie Smith more to do.
and I'm okay with this.
I love Maggie Smith.
I love McGonagall in general.
I love both of them
Yeah.
a lot.
It's hard for me to picture McGonagall as anything else.
Because I think she is the most perfectly cast person in this entire series, with the exception, maybe, of Snape.
Snape is...
But everybody else,
So that's pretty close. Like they're all giggling and stuff.
right? It's really
Every
funny.
time we hear about them in class, like they're always saying like how many times it takes. Like his first try with a broken wand. It's a cup
right,
with a tail.
right,
Still
a
alive.
little fuzzy, but still,
Good attempt.
yeah. I like that we've got some Hufflepuffs. And
Yeah.
they've shown that same girl a couple times now. I feel like the Slytherin ties are a little too blue. And
I
the
didn't
Ravenclaw
notice.
of me has a problem with it. What is the bird that they're transfiguring? I'm okay with her doing this part. She's so cool. And then there's some sort of raccoon thing climbing in the background. You ever notice the raccoon-looking thing climbing in the
Lemur?
background?
Yeah.
Lemur,
They're
yes.
lemurs.
I would not have pictured her as an animal in my classroom person.
I think it's just for the lesson because they were turning animals
Into
cups.
cups.
So
Okay.
she needs a lot of animals.
If you ever need that useful spell.
Feriverto.
Oh, there you go. There's an owl randomly in there, too. There's a girl in the background not paying any attention because she's playing with a rat. Really, you should be paying attention. Stop playing with your rat.
There's Justin.
That girl, back there. You see her? She's distracting me.
I didn't see her.
She's behind maybe Seamus?
Is she on the right of the room, I think?
Yes, like in the middle of the hall of the aisle. See if she's there again. Okay, behind Dean.
Was she still playing with it?
She's still playing with something. Man, she is distracting me. That's like an extra with like a whole backstory going on for herself.
I wonder if that's Eloise Midgen.
I don't know.
Or Hannah Abbott.
She's not moving there. I wonder how long this scene took. There are so many different shots that they're covering.
Mm-hmm.
You've got her walking up and down the aisles. You've got here
So
with
many close-ups.
close-ups.
So many
and
kids.
So many, and yes. That, like,
With
3 minute
many
scene.
kids in each shot.
Mhm.
Where do you think all the parents hang out during?
Somewhere with a lot of alcohol?
3 broomsticks.
There you go. I don't know. Well, you know, they had a schoolroom, like, built into the set because there were so many kids they had to have, like, a certain number of hours of school every day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They just, in the set, built school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, look. It could be Malfoy. Here we go. Random book. No note.
No restricted
No
section.
restrictions. That makes me sad.
I know. We didn't get to pull one over
No.
on Gilderoy.
Moving pretty quickly through the
Yeah.
chapters in the early part.
Yeah, we're in November-ish, according to at least book time. You shouldn't, because it's supposed to be restricted.
Fluxweed. It looked like they actually put in there the right things.
Well, I would hope so. I also Googled it to see if there was any other, like, things, but
There's a lot of, like, every single item that's in that
Mhm.
has a connection to hiding things or, like, changing things. Like, every single one of us has some kind of etymology with, like, it fits the theme.
Got it.
Basically.
Quidditch, which is
More
always hard for
Quidditch.
me to watch.
Oh, these are well done.
They get better in this movie too. This is the movie where they have
Is this the Rogue Bludger one?
yeah. This is the one where Harry and Malfoy go around the edge of the. No, it's not.
It might be,
It's
actually,
because
I think that's a later book.
or a later
A
movie.
later movie, I
it's a
mean.
later movie, I believe. I think it's
No, this is the
4.
one where he catches the snitch right by his head. If this was Rogue Bludger, it should already be getting him, right?
That's the next. No, it is this one.
I'm not sure.
In the book, it's the same match. Because Malfoy's laughing at him.
Yeah.
It's just, this is it. They do get into, in this movie, oh yeah, what's this? You're leaving your keeper, like, You're leaving the goals completely on, or is that just a
How
celebration?
are all of these adults at this game?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't-
grown-ups.
I think a lot were teachers in that box there.
Yeah, but there was like other adults over by Dumbledore too.
Hey, why not be able to show up for alumni showing up for one of the 3 matches their team is going to play?
Right.
It's pretty reasonable. So here's the Rogue Bludger now.
Which,
and broken
See?
broomstick, a little much.
and it should have been the whole game.
Yeah,
Like, it's not going to get bewitched in the middle of the game.
but why wouldn't it? Couldn't
Oh.
Dobby be doing it on the side, like
See, I
actively doing it?
I feel-
think in the book it's supposed to be more of a passive thing.
I assumed he like did it ahead of time.
Right. I think that's how the book does it. Why can't he be there actively changing it now?
And you're okay with that?
I think so.
Okay.
Did that happen in the book? Ron saying, "I'll stop."
No.
it? Yeah, that's-
No.
We
I
don't
like
get
that.
Stan perspective.
Yeah.
We only get Harry's perspective. And then they call a timeout because the Weasley twins are supposed to be like helping him.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't
Catch the
happen.
snitch or die trying.
Right. That doesn't
and it's
happen.
like the Bludger breaking through all of these.
Nope.
Yeah.
None of that happens in the book. And I think I'm so hung up on there's so many good things in the book you don't need that I have a hard time just appreciating the breaking. But I don't
I
think
just
you
don't
need
see
it.
the point of
All right, Riley. This is
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like this part. I don't know. I always thought this was cool.
Again, it completely defeats the purpose of the snitch just hanging out at Malfoy's head.
Yeah.
And
But
it-
again, it adds to the action. Like, we don't have any action in the beginning of the book, like Luke said.
maybe
kind
I'm
of.
too much of I would have no problem with this just being like a murder mystery film without any action.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
know why you need it.
Plot sucks. Doesn't suck, but
I mean,
that's what movies are always going to choose.
yeah.
not an indie film, which this is not. I
This is
understand.
not an indie film.
And don't get me wrong.
Harry
my-
Potter and the indie film will be a good series.
I mean, my favorite kind of movies really are your action, blow 'em up, superhero kinds of things. I'm not saying I don't like a good action flick. I just don't know if you need it for this book because it's got enough story without it.
Yeah.
You know, this
Focus
is-
more on the characters, but it's also
Why do you need this? How is this important?
this 10-minute Quidditch match
That
is a bit.
it's a bit
That's
Right.
a bit much.
with the balls that
How
fly
many
outside
how many
of
laps
the
have they
Quidditch
done?
pitch?
How many laps have they done at this point?
Right.
And he beat Malfoy because Malfoy fell off his broom. I don't know. I don't like that as much.
No, and
He
I
should
don't.
just beat him.
I don't like that in the movies in general. The Quidditch balls fly outside of the parameters of the Quidditch pitch.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. It bothers me. I feel
And
like
his
they
hand
should
gets
stay
hit.
within. That is true.
yeah.
But he does this.
I think I'm okay with that because he has one hand. He's got hold on to it. There's
Yeah.
no good way of holding it at
I'm
that point.
fine
Yeah,
with that. I'm not fine with the fact with the whole chase. I
sure.
kind of like that the ball kept after him though.
I don't like that it's Hermione that does it.
I agree.
I don't like that.
No, it should be
Unbelievable.
Madame Pomfrey. No,
It's Madam Hooch.
Madame Hooch. That's the Madame I was thinking of.
Like, why would they be the first
And
ones
how
out
did
there?
how did they get there first?
No. Where are the teammates? Like, come on.
Like he's supposed to not be sitting up and say anything until he hears that voice.
In the books, they talk about Fred and George wrestling the bludger
Yes.
into the box.
Yes. Instead, there's random people standing around.
Hufflepuffs.
Let's make sure. There's a couple. There's
And
one
a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, faceless.
So gross. Well, that can happen.
It's so gross. Oh, gross.
It reminds me of our brother Matthew.
Who can pull his finger all the way
Right.
back?
The
push back his
bone's
head to-
not
stop.
broken.
I like the sound of the jelly sound effects with it. See,
I don't mind that.
You can go.
no, I'm. If you're gonna do the stupid chase and he's gonna get hurt for stupid reasons, I'm okay with him faking his illness.
I think the Quidditch team should be here, not this random group of second years.
Skelly grow.
Right.
Skelligrew, yeah. That's what it's called in the book.
It's like the bottle.
Yeah, actually skeleton shaped.
You're in for a rough night, and he's just sleeping there.
I don't know if that
all
was
this
necessary.
and all the pipes around this glass encased room,
Right.
At least he is looking at the ceiling.
And the flame sound. You hear that, like the little crackling.
Oh, Dobby. Why are you here? It was a very short jump to that. You missed the barrier. Oh, you stopped it.
Most aggrieved.
No, we
Oh
didn't.
my gosh.
You already have one hand. Try that. Okay, I like the death threat line. That's funny. Not kill you. I don't want you dead.
Injured, maybe maimed.
Sent home maimed and... Dobby still is treated like footman. Oh. At least he doesn't have to worry about Dobby like being too loud for the whatchamacallits, the Dursleys. So, all right. Presents him with clothes.
So intention has to be there.
Apparently.
That's why I have a problem with a couple of that.
I know, but I don't think that's how
Either
it
they
says
can't
it in
do
the
laundry,
book. Right.
or the intention of freeing them has to be included. The
Yeah.
dichotomy in this book alone, I have a problem with.
Like the accidental freeing. Is,
Right, you should not be able to accidentally free them the way he's freed, or they can't do laundry. It's one or the other.
Dear
I think.
God,
I don't
give
think
me
so.
an elf who could do laundry.
That's all
I
I
mean,
want.
like, if-
seriously,
If you just had a hamper and the elf picked
how is
up,
that different than giving them clothes?
you don't hand it to them.
There's more to this in
But I
later
feel
book
like,
too.
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
a part of my issue, but we won't go into that now.
And he just disappears right in the middle of Hogwarts.
Because I think some of that's actually left out of the movie, so Riley
Yeah.
won't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm going to pretend to be asleep because, look, the gaggle of teachers is together
Who's
again.
that guy?
Both of those guys.
Who are they?
The monks who live in the basement? I have no idea. Nice hat, McGonagall. Oh, we're going to disappear now, so you don't wonder who we are.
They're the extras.
Extras. Stage
Professor
hands.
Extresses.
Great. So, kids are in danger. So we're open again,
They leave out a good line right there.
which is it's not who, but how.
Which is very good because
Yes.
Dumbledore knows. Like, he knows who opened it last time. He's the
Yes.
only one that knows.
Okay, let's move on and make fun of the fact that they're brewing this potion out in the middle of
Just, yeah.
in the open of the bathroom, not even pretending to hide it in a stall like it said in the book. Oh, I love Moaning Myrtle.
The 37-year-old actress.
Yep. I feel like she should be less colorful. I know it sounds weird, but it's almost like too much color on her.
I'm fine with it. Can we tell what house she's in?
Oh, I'm going to start looking.
Looks like a Hogwarts patch,
Yeah. Ugh.
not a house patch.
That makes me sad. Let's take guesses. Where do you think Moaning Myrtle belongs to?
Hufflepuff.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the easy choice, though.
It is the easy choice. I don't think she's Slytherin.
I don't think there's any reason she couldn't be Ravenclaw.
I don't either. You could be. You just have to be smart. You don't have to be very nice.
Or you can complain.
And you also don't need
sometimes the
people
smarter
skills.
you are, the more you complain about it.
It's true.
You don't need people skills.
That's true.
And then we jump right to the dueling club.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything.
I
Not
love
really.
Gilderoy Lockhart's outfits in this movie.
Yes.
His little cape there.
Yeah.
Which is worn
I do
under
like
his
that.
armpit.
I do like that outfit.
It
He
looks like,
throws it to the crowd.
like he looks like he's wearing a.
Armor.
A
Like,
fencing outfit.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say a quilt.
that too.
And he's like, I'm just wearing my black, dude. I'm not gonna have my tailored pants for this. He
I
has a
love
wand
Snape.
sheath.
I love Snape. I just love the way he
Look,
looks here.
Yeah,
wand
he does.
sheath
Oh yeah.
ish. I like that there are formalities to it. It's very much like duels, like gun
It's an
duels.
honor thing. Yeah.
Yes. I don't like that Gilderoy Lockhart doesn't even pretend to do something.
He basically just like, oh,
Right.
what's he doing?
I wish he would have done like something and been bad.
Or just got beat to the punch.
Right.
Pretty
Pretty
obvious.
Let me run my fingers through my hair because he kind of needs to. It's a little floppy there. And then look at just how greasy and stringy and gross Snape's hair is.
Yeah.
Oh, almost a smile. I don't like that they don't have everybody else practice.
This is way too staged
right.
compared to the book, where it's a lot more natural, and it's like, okay, let's enough of this.
Right.
Let's bring this back in and just
And
do
again,
one-on-one real quick.
I get why not. Let's speed it up, but it would have been nice to do that.
That's not a Snape move to me.
No,
That was a little too
showy.
Mm-hmm.
and too abrupt. Like
Yes.
he's very much more
He's
take
more
your time and
smooth.
deliberate
Yep.
and not. Yeah.
You
That's
know
too
what
out
would
in
have
the
been
open.
better? To do a 5-minute duel of everybody than a 10-minute CGI very expensive chase around the Quidditch pitch. Just saying.
Should have done a running through the forest battle with Harry and Draco.
I like that he even has like a wand glove. Lockhart does.
Mm-hmm.
That's not 3. That was only 2. 3 shall be the number that is counted.
Okay, so I see the Slytherin green being very blue.
Yeah,
I see that.
it's weird.
But he says Rictum Sempra, which is the tickling charm, and apparently whatever charm or thing you do, just blast the other one across the room.
Yeah.
Instead of actually...
I like that the spell you do should actually be the spell that you do, not, oh, it's just damage. Like, it's...
Until the snake comes.
Yeah.
Because that's not what happens when they duel, like, in real life. See, now, I get why the snake looks mad.
This changes the feel for Harry being accused. As what happens in the book, it's very clear that he didn't tell it to... Like, they
Right.
changed the timing of everything to be
Like, it should be
more
doing
like,
this,
he's the obvious person.
Then he's talking.
Mm-hmm. He
Where
almost
in the
looks
book-
possessed right now.
Yeah.
Like, at the very end, it gets there. But watch, he says this again, which I think is supposed to be like, stop, leave him alone. And the snake looks at him and then goes docile. So, like, it gets there, but the initial...
And Snape disappears the snake before he can actually, like, the snake can rest.
Yeah. It just changes the feel from Harry's perspective, for sure.
Right. He isn't defending himself. He kind of feels like he knows he did something wrong in this moment rather than
being surprised.
what do you mean? I was helping.
They do say python in here,
Uh-huh.
as opposed to in the book where they say boa constrictor, because in movie 1 it was a python. Movie 2 it was a boa constrictor. Or,
Stick to their guns.
Yeah. You mean in the movie it was a python,
Right.
in the book it was...
right.
Well, at least they did continuity.
Right. And I appreciate that. They changed it there.
You might as well keep it
it.
changed. All right.
Or just say I sent a snake on Dudley. That'd
Yeah.
be fine too.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Do you notice that there's smoke coming out from behind me? I know
That's the fireplace.
I know, but it's like eking out the top of the fireplace instead of going into the
Up
chimney.
the flue.
Yeah. It was a little weird. It did
They got
sound
a
like
back-
you were
they got a
eking out the
backdraft.
smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Well, you don't know if you're not. Well, you could be.
Yeah, I mean,
This is pretty word for word.
It is, but the pauses are weird.
Yeah, they are.
It's not natural conversation yet. They're not there yet. I see Ginny working by herself
Mm-hmm.
nicely. Those are things we're missing. The little moments of Ginny. Okay, you're all looking at me funny. Oh, there's a little moment of her, but she looks like everybody else, not like somebody super nervous.
Right, which is kind of how it happens in the book.
Right.
It's usually like things are off in the school, so her being off is just fine.
because everybody else is off.
But when you look back at it, they stand out of, okay, she's actually off because of this.
Right.
you just gotta pay more
Same
close
reaction,
attention
different
to
cause.
her.
Right. What'd you say, Riley?
I said you just have to pay more close attention to her,
Yeah.
and without knowing, like,
I do like that she was sitting alone.
Yeah,
That
and
she hasn't
and I
made
think
close
that's
friends.
the
She
difference that you
hasn't-
can start pulling there. Is,
I wonder if she was writing in the diary. I completely forgot.
that's
to
what I
look.
was assuming.
oh, I would think so.
I would hope so.
That'd
Be funny. Or
yeah,
not funny,
I
but
missed-
like
I missed it.
well played.
Yeah.
Because that look was kind of like she could have even been writing about him,
About Harry
about
at
what
the time.
happened, and
Oh no, John Cleese down.
Never to be heard from again.
See, I like that he's floating, standing up. That makes more sense than him laying on the ground. Like
None of it makes sense. Him being petrified.
And that's Justin, right?
Yep.
I like that Filch finds him.
Mr. Filch, you understand, winter is coming.
Oh,
It is too.
And more like, okay,
I'm okay with that.
Mm.
I'm all right with the spiders.
It fits the scene.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't, because Harry should be like running, like he should be like trying to find somebody to save himself.
I agree with you, but in general, Harry is not so good at that.
This is
Book and movie.
in the book here. This is right when the bell goes off, and the hallway is just filled with students again. That
So
got
he
a little
doesn't get
cheesy.
away.
I like that it was more of just a Filch caught him, got McGonagall. It's not so much he's being put on display again.
Right. I love this.
No gargoyle.
It's a griffin. Not a gargoyle, but that's exactly
is it
how
a
I.
griffin, though?
I think so.
I guess that's a lion's tail or yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly how I pictured the stairs.
That spiral staircase.
An escalator, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Circular room with paintings of the Hogwarts
Former headmasters.
former headmasters all over,
mistresses.
and trinkets all over.
I love the trinkets.
It's not how I view it like in my head, but it's very well detailed.
I would say this was pretty close.
Yeah.
Or this is one of the few rooms that this was better than what I pictured. So
I
It's just
like
hard
it
to get
a
out of your
lot.
head.
yeah.
I like it a lot. It's definitely different, but I like it quite a bit.
Yes.
It's very well done.
yes.
The Hat knows he's going to ask that in the book.
Yeah. I don't like that the Hat talks out loud because in the book he puts it on.
Mhm.
It always bothers me that the Hat projects. I mean, I guess he does because he sings, but
I think he should have put the hat on there.
I do too.
Again, not a change. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't mess up his hair.
This is
I
not
guess.
how I imagine the Phoenix looking.
Well,
He's a
remember,
lot more
it's decrepit.
ratty.
Yeah.
He's supposed to look pretty worn out right now. Oh no!
One fried phoenix. Anyone?
What'd you do to my bird? I wish you would have pulled that card on him. Like, what'd you do to it?
Dumbledore is not that guy. Flitwick would have done it
About time.
There are times where he's got some sarcasm.
a bit, but not like to a student who's been sent to his office who's already, you know what I mean?
It would have been a good line.
So what do you think about the rebirthed little phoenix guy?
It's fine. Different.
Does that happen right away?
Yeah.
Yeah, they see it in the book too. Incredibly loyal.
Hey, pay attention because I'm going to tell you all the important things about phoenixes. Just so you know. Not important at all. See, now this part bothers
Doesn't
me.
make any sense because they didn't run into each other.
No, in the book, they had just been talking.
Hmm.
Wait, what? Yeah.
He
that
is still
sounds good.
funny though.
I love Hagrid.
How can he not?
What?
Said, how can he not?
Well, I didn't
How
the
could
last
you
one.
ever
Yeah.
not? That's what he's getting at.
Oh, Hagrid. Nope.
See, this part just makes me so angry.
Like, just say something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Say nothing.
If you see something, say nothing and drink to forget.
That's right. All right. I believe you. There's nothing happening. Just make sure you whisper it loudly for the secret, please. Snow.
Hey, told you, winter is
Christmas.
coming, Filch.
Haha.
The ponies and the sleighs.
Where do the
Yeah.
ponies come?
I don't know.
That's fun though. Like that. I would do that. That looked awesome.
I feel like, though, you show the castle with some snow, you show it snowing in the Great Hall because that's what it looks like outside. What?
What, are you talking about the snow in the Great Hall?
I love the snow in the Great Hall, or at least because the Great Hall, the ceiling is bewitched to look like the outside sky. It's snowing.
I
It should
like
absolutely
how
be snowing.
vacant the
Yeah.
Great Hall is.
Yeah.
But it looks
Because
so
it's
much
Christmas.
smaller
It's
right
so
now.
well done.
The Great Hall changes so much in the movies.
Maybe that's part of the magic of the room. It changes the
Does it?
size of the
Yeah.
amount of people that are there.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, it does. Yes, it
I
changes
never noticed.
every scene. Like the openings and ends of the movies, it's always so much bigger than like these scenes that they're sitting eating breakfast or talking or playing chess.
Okay. When? You didn't duel her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very thick hair. Hey, I got these two little
Who's that
muffin things.
statue supposed to be?
I don't know.
Looks like a founder, maybe. Holding the school. Looked like holding a
With
castle
the
in his hand.
giant lion-y?
So,
thing?
Godric Gryffindor, maybe?
I don't know.
That's what I would think.
Oh, funny wand joke. I liked that moment.
What did he say?
He was about to like bewitch the things, and Harry's like, maybe I should do it.
Those don't look good to me.
No, and like,
Oh, there's a badger there too.
oh,
So I wonder if he's got There's a snake around his shoulders somewhere if he's holding the eagle. So I think it's all
Maybe.
4 of them.
Seriously? Seriously, you just don't notice?
And their hands are full of donuts and stuff. Like,
Let's eat more. Such a hard time with this. Because at least in the books, which was also stupid, at least they had just set them on like the banister.
Yeah, they look just floating in the middle of the.
the tail of the
Yeah.
snake there too.
Yeah.
How thick could you get?
Oh, sludge is gross. And they have to drink it. Here you go.
Now,
Notice that they have bigger robes on. Like,
yeah, that's well done. Now these don't change colors though, which is fine.
I suppose. Wouldn't be hard.
Well, you gotta drink the whole thing.
Drink, drink, drink.
So that bothers me. None of them drink like anything more than just the first drink.
Harry took a second and a third.
Right,
There you
he's
go.
the only one. He's a
He's
finisher.
throwing it back.
Oh, never mind. I don't want any of them on my drinking team.
They are only 12. Well, 13. Hermione.
They got a lot of training to do.
Yeah.
Like
Start
Mountain
'em
Dew
young.
playing Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hmm. I like the bubbling face.
Mm-hmm.
This transition is good.
Yes.
I really like the way
Yes.
that happened.
I don't like
The
that
voices.
yes.
Yep, bothers me.
Every time.
Why? You have every other. It's anatomically you would have that voice.
Right. Because the vocal cords are.
Yeah. It is funny hearing Rupert Grint try to like talk like that's just comical,
Yeah.
but it's worthless. I think
It's-
a worthless change.
like.
Like they don't want to pay these 2 actors anything, so
No, not at all. Well, and the other thing is like they're almost like I can almost see the meeting. Hey, we got to have them change into somebody else, but like we don't want anybody to be confused and think that's not Harry.
and that's exactly what it is.
What can we do? I know. What if we have them like still stun themselves?
I have it to be Neil Patrick Harris
Only
as Count Olaf as Percy.
it's legendary.
This is great. This scene here. This. I didn't know you could do that. Apparently that was completely
I think that
ad-libbed
was
too.
improvised,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was entirely improvised by
Here's
I
the
read
thing:
that.
Tom Felton.
Tom Felton was not given enough to do in these movies.
He did a lot on his own. I
That's what
think.
I'm saying,
He
like,
came into his own a lot on the
He
character.
like that right there. Like
He owned the character.
he was my favorite to watch because unlike the other actors who grew into it, especially in this movie, like he just sits, he flops. I didn't know you could read. Like he's good.
He's got a
Mm.
good character to play. You know, he's never
Yes.
unsure.
Yeah.
You know, he always has that confidence. It's easier to act confident than act unsure. If you're, you know what I mean?
It's
Like
true.
if you're playing a character that's confident, it's easy to
I
be
always liked
confident.
acting as the bad guys.
Right.
Being
And
confident
being a
and-
bad guy,
yeah.
you usually have that trait of this common room's a lot larger and brighter than it's described in the books.
Yeah.
What do you think of your common room here? Can't see it too well.
Yeah, there's
but
not a lot going on.
Saint Potter. Wait, hold on. He brought it up. Cool. Easy.
It is pretty
That's
interesting looking.
weird. It's like a little forest going on
Yeah.
back there.
A little mystical forest area.
Or is this supposed to be like underneath the lake?
He's just stealing boxes.
Get that water effect in the back.
Mhm.
Could they be close to the lake?
Well, they're down in the dungeon, so they could be.
I'm saying, like they.
Could be right up against it, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And the chamber's supposed to be underneath the lake.
Right? Yeah,
So
you
it
said
could
we
be
must be
not
underneath
far
the lake.
from it.
Yeah, I like that. That maybe there's another entrance to the chamber through the Slytherin common room, or Slytherin dormitories.
Maybe the original.
Yeah, I
Not
don't know.
according to Pottermore. I did look it up.
Yeah, it's interesting that the water effect is there.
Well, apparently, according to Pottermore, the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets was just a trapdoor that the Gaunts knew about.
Right.
And the Gaunts who were there at the time when they were going to put in Muggle bathrooms kind of freaked out because he was like, you have a bathroom planned for here. I know. I'll just make the...
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you had read that or not.
I did since we recorded the last thing.
Okay. Wonderful.
I love Myrtle.
I like that their clothes are still big. That they had them in the same, like, two big clothes that they wore as...
Mhm. Thoughts on how she looks here?
Oh, yeah. That's great. Very cat-like.
Riley, thoughts?
Not what you expected.
I mean, it's I don't know. It
Way
just-
too much. I think
way too much.
But I think that's what it was.
it's not how I picture it.
Oh.
It's
her
that's,
face wasn't like it looked like they just put a bunch on. I mean, obviously it's a movie, but it looked like they just put a bunch on to hide it, and not that she turned into a cat. Like I imagine her like neck to be a little bit more slenderer. Like
her head was entirely huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just different.
Okay. And then we jumped straight to the bathrooms flooding,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is true. Be around chapter 13.
This is the Very Secret Diary chapter, which is 12, I believe.
13.
13. But I think he gets the diary in 12.
I think it's all in the same
Oh,
one.
it might be, because that might be the 13 might have been the chapter that was like vignettes, like short, bam, 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 because that's also Valentine's Day, and which we don't-
Valentine's Day, he's already got the diary.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's in that chapter that we have Valentine's Day too. So, and he finds out about the ink in the diary. I love her thinking about death. I was distraught.
Like, there are so many scenes that Daniel Radcliffe has to do with CGI.
Uh-huh.
So many.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
With ghosts, it's with Dobby.
Yep.
Later
It's
on with the
tough.
snake. Like,
Yep.
It's hard to act with nobody else there.
At 13.
right.
Yeah.
And he didn't have Andy Serkis to work with.
No, he should have. Well, he was in Australia or New Zealand at that
At
time.
the time, yeah.
Same time.
Yeah, he was pretty busy.
Yeah. True.
He is the best.
So join us in 4 years when we go through.
Shh. I am making no commitments at this moment. All right, so we wrote on the paper, and then it went away. Where'd my ink go? Let me flip the page. Maybe it sunk through.
My ink blot. Would that be the first thing you write?
No!
Like, it's just.
I would say hello.
I would start drawing pictures.
Yeah.
Like I just doodle.
Whoop, whoop,
Hello, Harry
whoop,
Potter.
whoop.
My name is Tom Riddle. It's a weird D's. Why would that be the first question? Like, how did he jump straight too high? You're writing back at me.
I think.
Like in the book, I think it's because the diary had the year dated.
Right.
Mhm.
That's a big part of it. And they knew that Tom Riddle was a head boy or a prefect in those years.
Because I think his name was on the outside of it, so he knew. Like we knew this.
Yeah,
was
they
Riddle.
showed the name on the back of
Okay.
it there, but we knew that he was a head or a prefect 50 years ago
Right.
because Ron kept throwing up on that trophy for special services
Right.
to the school.
But again, we missed all that. We missed
Right.
the build up to that.
Right. I think this is just to do with the connection that I think Harry's already making with the water on the ground and
Right.
the attacks.
Right.
It's like all we have, that and the spiders, and
There's not much to
but
go
it's very
off.
disjointed. It's not nearly as tight as
Right.
the book is.
Now imagine that this is the movie that's the longest, and yet it's from one of the shortest books. It's gonna just get jumpier.
Yeah. I know.
Just breathe through it, Luke.
That's why I like these better overall, because they are much better at being here's the book in movie form, but movie 2 at least,
I mean,
and then movie 7, both of them, because they do a good job at hey, we split them into 2 movies so we can actually show everything.
I'm trying to remember if I hated 6. I don't think I hated 6.
We'll get there.
Okay.
I don't remember specifically right now.
So you don't have like an utter loathing,
I have that with a couple others.
but I'm saying not with 6.
There are things I remember about 6 that are wrong.
There's things I remember about all of them that are wrong.
There are big ones that stand out to me that just carry through. But
Okay.
But he's dead. How do you feel about this death scene or this throwback scene?
It once again completely takes out the need for Aragog. Hey, look, somebody died from the bathroom. I mean, they could have easily shown. Sorry, I'll let it go. I don't mind the death scene.
we get there. We go see Hagrid
I know, but
in this.
I'm saying we could get rid of that.
I like that we cut out Armando Dippet.
Yeah, right.
That's a.
Pointless.
It shows that Dumbledore's questioning him. You know, like not necessarily buying it. Like, hey, what's something more to this
Right.
that Dumbledore is aware of?
Do you think there's any character who's had more people play
He's-
him than Voldemort?
He's talking to Dumbledore here, right?
Yeah.
He's not. Doesn't he talk to Dippet
Dippet.
in the
Well,
Yeah,
he
that's
also,
what I was saying. They
I think
cut
he
that
also
out, and
talks
that's
to
okay.
Dumbledore. He talks to both
He
of
does.
them.
Yeah. I like
in
that
the
they
scene.
just made it talking to Dumbledore. 'cause
What
it-
was
it's-
Dumbledore? A
He
teacher?
was a transfiguration teacher.
Transfiguration.
Yeah.
I don't know if we learned that at this point. That's a
Well,
later on. I think that's
All right.
book 5 that we
Can
learned.
I have a continuity problem?
sure.
This is 1942. Right.
Dumbledore shouldn't be there. Or
No.
that's 1945.
I mean, he
1945.
could still be a teacher,
1945 is the thing
Right.
that I was thinking of. Yep.
but they just cast young Dumbledore,
Right.
which
Jude
is only
Law.
set a few months after the second Fantastic Beasts movie, and it's Jude Law. How are we going to get from late 1920s to the early 1940s and go from young Jude Law to, youngish old Dumbledore?
Richard Harris. It's a tough 20 years.
Right?
Maybe he chooses when he wants to age.
It's moments like that that bother me.
That's the difficulty of any movie franchise going 20 years of
Prequels are hard.
recording time.
Yep.
And a character that's 120 something years old.
150.
That's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he should be old at 100 in
There goes
19
the spider.
Yep. Like in 1942, Dumbledore would be about 100.
Yep.
In the 1920s, he'd be 80. So how come he looks like Jude Law? This is my point. It's just,
How are they going to know they were ever going to do?
I'm saying the people doing the prequel should be thinking about stuff like
Actually look at the overall
Right.
timeline.
Yeah.
this. Right. All right. So Spider, it was obviously some sort of scuttly kind of thing.
So this answers a question that we had, at least the books or the movie's interpretation
Right.
of, does he go into the book? Does he vanish from the room? Or is he just sitting there and like mentally
He
brought in?
vanished into the...
Right. In here,
Right.
he vanishes into the book.
I still don't know if I believe it.
Yeah.
There's Hagrid in the background. Oh, yeah, he comes up.
Her eyebrows bother me.
They're not any different than Harry's.
Her hair's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
That's the problem I'm talking about. Just they stand out to me.
I have dark eyebrows and lighter hair naturally, so I'm not going to worry about it. I agree
Yours
with you
don't
though.
bother me.
You have an anti Hermione problem in early movies.
No, I don't
You
think
had to
that's
really
the
think about
case.
that.
I think she's way overpowered and overused.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with her in general.
Okay.
It's a crush.
He's just saying she's
Sure.
got stupid eyebrows.
I'm just saying she has really bushy eyebrows, and it bothers
She's
me.
supposed to.
Oh.
It's Hermione.
Leave her alone.
I won't say anything else. Never mind.
Don't do that.
I don't mind this jump. This is fine.
Yeah. Do we miss anything?
Nothing big. I mean, there's little bits here and there, but nothing.
No, I'm good with it.
We haven't gotten anything where like Harry's
It's
being
like completely
outcast.
destroyed, though. This is not how I imagined it.
This is a little bit more.
It's over.
Yeah, visually, it's a little extreme. Is that a stuffed Hedwig there?
It has to be a Gryffindor.
Again, let's negate the fact that we just infiltrated another common room. Let's realize that can't happen ever.
Right.
Come on, guys. I like the board.
Yeah.
That was missing because they didn't do like the early practice stuff where they went and
Right.
had the field invasion. They
Oh, we
got
didn't-
headed off at the pass.
We haven't gotten any good Oliver Wood stuff.
But why is the Hufflepuff guys flying still?
Was there Hufflepuffs flying?
Yeah, they were. There's
Yeah.
definitely.
You didn't tell them ahead of time.
Uh-oh.
You're not noticing the paper in her hand? Is it there?
It's in the
Is
other
it
hand.
there? Is it there?
I think the mirror was in that hand.
Yeah. But not Penelope Clearwater. But everybody else who got petrified was petrified, right?
Yes,
So Penelope made it through the movie.
as far as we know.
Okay.
But yeah, Mrs. Norris, then Justin, and nearly hit this Nick.
And
no,
Colin
Colin
Creevey.
Creevey or before that, and then Hermione, but
Mhm.
Penelope or Penelope.
Penelope. Oh. Let's see if Ginny is visible somewhere.
She is. I think they zoomed in on her.
Yeah, there she is. Good.
Clearly slanty-eyed.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Ginny. You're not given much time to work with, but,
Hey, be very obvious when we see you.
well,
Bonnie Wright.
yep.
Was she in the first one? Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah, just that little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that they had her cast, though.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, clearly book 3 was out before they made movie 1. So they had to know that she was a character that right away in book 2 was a big thing.
I
So
like the
Right.
crossbow.
yeah, I mean, pointing straight out. I like that he's so aggressive with it. Oh, let's see you guys.
Expecting Cornelius.
Who is recast later?
Really?
No,
Pretty sure.
I don't think so.
When he shows up, let me know if you think it's the same person. I haven't seen the later movies in a while, but
When's the last time he shows up?
100.
Book
He's in.
5.
he shows up. Book 6, the very beginning. The other
Is he in
minister
the
chapter.
movie, though?
Yeah, he
I
is.
don't know.
Do they do that in the movie?
I don't
They
think
don't do
so.
the other minister. So probably book 5?
You mean they don't do another minister?
Because that's when they do Rufus Scrimgeour.
The chapter called The Other Minister,
Yeah.
specifically. That is not the
It's
same.
not the
Oh,
same.
No, not.
Book 3 and on, I think, is
Yeah.
the guy that picks him up at Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
That's
and I've
You're right.
never noticed it.
Me
I
either.
hadn't either. I mean, just watching it this
Who
morning.
is this guy?
This is. Oh, didn't mean to pause that.
Robert Hardy. All right. Yeah, I read it.
I couldn't read it.
Oh.
And I saw Richard Harris right below it.
Ah.
That's what distracted me. The same initials. I was like, is that what that says?
I have my contacts and I can see. Azkaban. His emphasis is on weird syllables.
Azkaban prison.
I love him. Like, actor him. I didn't like him in the books, but movie Lucius Malfoy,
He's
like, improves on a character. In general, the Malfoys kind of like...
They are so good together.
Well-
Draco, like the way that he has acted, Jason Isaacs,
Yes.
right? Jason Isaacs
Yes.
has acted pulling off of what Tom Felton did in movie one
Mhm.
and probably in this too. It fits so well. I give him credit for following Tom Felton's lead on this is the
you
style.
think that's what he did?
I mean, it was already there in movie one.
So you'd have to.
So he'd have to at least take cues from it, but then take it to a different level.
Right.
So I give him a lot of credit for that acting that he's doing.
Well, here's the thing I like about them. This book was very, very funny, and this movie is very, very not funny because the things that get cut are the cute little quick moments.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's fair.
both Draco and Lucius have taken quick moments.
And
Just
owned
like,
them.
you call this a house, or you can read.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, but I feel like the tone that the movie sets overall plays to those moments more of those characters.
because it's not a funny movie. It's
Mhm.
a darker movie, so the darker characters get the better lines.
Yeah.
But a worse actors would not have done well with them.
That's true.
Here, let me look right into the spot where there's somebody like that moment right there where Dumbledore looks at obviously where he knows Harry and Ron are hiding under the invisibility cloak. And it's behind Lucius, and Lucius turns around and looks and is like, okay, well, you're looking at nothing, crazy man. I'm going to walk out now because you're crazy. Like,
Why doesn't Fudge have a bowler hat?
I don't know. Because it's not fudge. It's fudge filler.
Yeah, fake fudge. Artificial fudge.
You know what I hate more than fudge? Artificial fudge.
You don't like
Synthetic.
fudge?
I'm not, no.
I love fudge.
I like fudge.
Not the character,
Shout
but
out
I
to the
love
Fudge
fudge.
Factory.
I'd rather have a cupcake.
I don't like cupcakes.
No, I'll take the good stuff.
Overrated.
Cake? Just cake? No, you don't like. I know
Cupcakes
you
or
don't like
cake.
cake.
I like it, but I would choose just fudge or just chocolate over that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right to the point.
Right
See,
to the
if
good
I'm going to
stuff.
have chocolate,
Forget the carbs.
I want something in it, like
Nope,
peanuts
just
or
give me the
peanut
chocolate.
butter or caramel or something.
All about the chocolate.
I'm okay with this.
I don't know about that one.
Don't they follow the
it's-
Why
spider
would they
right
be
now?
why would they be in the hut?
But I'm
Why would they
saying
be running away from the hut?
I'm okay with them going right to the spider thing now.
Okay.
Like, rather than it being another
I
day and
just
having
don't-
to sneak out another time.
I
And
don't think it needs to happen 3 times.
I don't disagree with you about the little spiders going out the window. That I agree with. I'm saying I'm okay with the movie's choice
Fang.
to make
That's such a good job.
following the spiders
Mm-hmm.
the same day.
Yeah, that's fine. How this is such a long movie. It seems like they're getting right to things like quickly.
Sorry.
Follow the butterflies.
Oh.
I
Sorry,
noticed
go
on
ahead.
the
No.
Amazon X-ray, they didn't have Fang. A little disappointed on that one.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, it seems like they're getting to things quickly in the story, but it is just so long. I don't know.
It's because they're being so literal on a lot of the lines. They are, when they get to a scene, they try to be as true to the book, which takes more time sometimes.
Right.
And
Because,
they
you
are
gotta let people talk.
consolidating. But this is much more of a talky movie. It's not so much action packed and when it is, they maybe overdo it because it shouldn't be there.
You would have saved yourself about 10 minutes between the two scenes that they didn't need. And still left everything else alone.
Being the Quidditch match and
The car getting hit by the train and flying and Harry almost falling out of the car. Like,
I think there was one after that, after the Quidditch match that we were saying that could have been quicker.
oh, not quicker, but they didn't need the horses in the snow, but it was fast, so I'm going to get over that one.
I don't like this walking through a little tunnel thing. I don't know what that's all about. It's a little weird. I get you can show more spiders. Ugh.
Ugh, creepy. Creepy spiders. So
I can see how this reminds you of Hobbit. You
Right?
know, with the Attercop.
Yeah. Which I don't know very well because Hobbit is the one that I haven't read as often, and I only watched those movies once each because it just didn't suck me in as the fact that I have all 3 of the Lord of the Rings extended version movies pretty much memorized.
Yeah.
The Hobbit
But-
movies aren't as good as Lord of the Rings movies at all.
Just like the book isn't as good.
And I think the problem with the Hobbit movies is they
It's-
tried to make it Lord of the Rings prequels
And
as
it's
opposed to this is the Hobbit.
Hobbit. I wish they had done that because I love Martin Freeman. Sorry, digression. Aragog. Shelob, whatever. See, that's... no. But see, the Shelob part
Shelob
of it
is
is
different.
fine.
Right. It's the Attercop.
Yes.
Yep. With the Wood Elves.
Yes. I'm trying to decide if I like the Aragog character.
Like in general or in the
I
movie?
mean, the movie's version of it. Because I remember the first time watching this, it felt very real and scary. And now I'm watching it going, man, it feels like 1975 Jim Henson Muppets. Again.
Yeah,
But I
I
didn't
agree.
notice that before. And I think it's because
But
like
that-
CGI and special effects have come
the
so
further
far.
out look is a lot better than the right up
Yes.
on his face. Like,
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
show his face like this. It doesn't
Don't
do anything.
Close up on it.
I like Scared Ron.
Scared Ron is perfect here.
Yes.
We don't speak his name. Get out of here.
Useless Hagrid creature.
Can you give us anything here? Help, come on.
What do you know? What is it you say you do?
Scared Ron. What would you say you do here?
Seriously, Scared Ron is the best part of this whole scene. Oh, there's more of them. Great. We're gonna be dead. That is the illustration, though.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was well done. That little scene right there was
Like this. We'll just go. I liked that moment. That was very later Daniel Radcliffe right there.
Yeah. Yeah. There are like
That was one of them.
again another him with CG, a huge CGI character. Like
Uh-huh.
another one.
Well, several of them.
Communicating with one.
Right.
Goodbye, friend of
Can we panic now?
I like that they actually try to fight. I don't think they
Yes.
do that in the book.
I don't think
really.
they have to because
Right,
the car is
just
right
gets
there.
I don't mind this weighing in on, like pressing in on them.
Right.
It's a lot more threatening here
And
because
I'm okay with this being an amped up action scene.
go
Because you're
car.
far enough in the movie and it is actually something scary. They should be
Yeah.
amped up here. This is a perfect time to do this.
Just trust it. Get in the car. There you go.
What is that?
Nothing.
Another spell that blows whatever it is back away.
Yeah, hey, just point your wand and say something in Latin.
Latin, really Latin, like Latin-esque.
Right.
Okay,
Grecian Latin.
and definitely all of these windows were already blown out. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, that one's open.
It's the same spell, at least.
That was very powerful.
Harry's an incredibly talented wizard. Didn't you know?
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. See? This I totally approve of. This is fine for me.
I approve of the slobber.
Here they come. Over the hill. I don't like that Ron is driving. Just let the car take control.
I don't think he's really in control. I think he's just like pressing the gas, and it's like the little kid steering wheel that you give. The car's doing it. It's just making it seem like Ron's doing it.
I remember this scene in some video game of some sort. No? Yes?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I actually don't remember this part of
Me
the
either.
video game. I remember the early part, the
Yeah.
Burrow stuff a lot more.
Maybe I just never got that far.
I'm sure I did not.
Right.
Actually, I'm sure I was sitting next to somebody playing it. I don't know, though. 2002, I was already married.
And
Ugh.
boring.
I was boring before then. Ha! True.
Switching
I
to
don't
flying
mind
gear.
it flying out of here.
I don't
I
mind
don't remember
it flying.
that.
There is none of this that I mind. It's
I don't
longer.
remember that,
They
but-
added to the chase scene. They flew out. I don't care. Totally fine by me. This is absolutely something they should have extended. I like that impressed better too. Like they improved that line.
I like that the hole is still in the back window from
Yeah.
The Whomping
the
Willow.
Whomping Willow. Good continuity. I like it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, what did you find out? I wasn't paying any attention to the actual conversation.
No mention of
The
girl
bathroom.
died in the bathroom.
Yep. Nope. I like that wasn't a crane shot of the castle. Just a shot of the castle to show the time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with them just like visiting her. And it's not. How many times do you think they've visited her? Like in the book, it's probably just the once. You think they've done it before? Oh. And by the way, they did not have to work that hard to get that out of her.
2 or
hand.
3 times.
Right.
But yeah, that was convenient.
And Hermione figured it out. Surprise!
Superpowered Hermione.
Although in the book she did it.
Yeah.
However, even petrified Hermione is smarter than everybody else.
I do see the point of, like, they do use her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's that in the movie, like, she's... Because we still have a decent chunk of time left in the movie rather than the book. Maybe it's that she's not doing anything in this, stretch of the movie that they gave her so much earlier on. Because it's supposed to be a trio in the way
Right.
that they kind of hired them.
So now they're figuring out all the different ways people got petrified.
Mm-hmm.
You can't die again. The mirror. Oh yeah, what about Mrs. Norris? How did that happen?
The wall.
That's right.
The basilisks.
Basil.
Yeah, no kidding. They all have the same handwriting in this.
Riddles and Harry's was different.
Yeah, but that was similar to.
Yeah. They had one.
Yeah.
Calligraphy
There you
specialist.
go. That's a secondary class that they take.
Do they have intercoms in Hogwarts?
I believe you can, like,
modify your voice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some sort of like loudness charm.
PA charm.
Yeah. I kind of like this instead of the staff room, like them just walking up on them. But that's the whole staff. Just those three.
Madame Pomfrey's getting a lot of screen time.
She needs to.
It's a big part of this book.
There's a lot of...
Here he is.
Yay! Nice pink outfit. There's your line.
Yeah.
He, oh man, Maggie Smith. Oh,
Very well.
hey, look, there's those creepy guys.
What were they? The same two that were carrying and
Really, they're-
Colin?
I totally get all of this. I just wish they had taken a moment to say now that he's dealt with, like Lockhart.
we gotta protect the kids
Yeah.
and evacuate pretty much.
Yes. Ron's having a bad few days.
Yeah.
Spiders. Stolen sister.
I like showing them that was well done. I like just running through his classroom
Mhm.
because we know his office is at the top of his classroom.
Right.
That design, like that was good. I like that.
Yes. I don't like that it was Harry saying, because it was Ron in
It
the
was supposed to
book.
be Ron driving this.
Yes.
No one-
Chris, most unfortunate.
Notice he has a wig on his desk.
He just packed it.
Shoved it in the thing. Oh,
Great line. Underrated line.
books can be misleading.
You wrote them.
Written by an author. I love that he's so indignant about it. Are you surprised? Of course he's a fraud.
We didn't get a lot of time with Lockhart.
No, which I think might have been my problem with movie Lockhart. He was annoying, but not in like a pervasive way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so constant like it is in the books.
It's
as to where it becomes
constant
that's
in
the
the book.
character.
Like we don't get him being sad he has to walk them to classes, and we don't get Valentine. Sorry.
Myrtle just singing.
Oh,
A crush.
And I love that she says, I mean, obviously she wouldn't know, but I love that she says, "Hello, Harry," and it's Gilderoy Lockhart there.
Right.
And it's like,
which
you know, that's who she notices. And
Olive Hornby, you're right.
You're thinking Rogers Hornsby.
Probably. Here it is. Here it is. That's like my favorite Myrtle line.
I was
distraught.
That's great. That's great.
She's the best.
She is so much better in the movies too. I think the
And then I
actress's
died.
rendition and it's hard for me not to compare it to the audiobook
Ah.
because I'm so used to that now.
Okay.
She is great.
great big yellow eyes.
Yes.
Trivia question.
And then I died. Who was it? I don't know.
I will say,
I was distraught.
I imagine the sink's against a wall.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Especially because in movie
This
one
is
with
definitely
the
a
troll,
movie thing.
Yeah.
Right.
they were sinks against a wall.
This is definitely a
Not the same
Hey, let's
bathroom.
have a big dramatic opening for the
Right.
for the
And an S.
Well, the Gaunts did have to cover up a trapdoor.
fair.
I mean, like,
This
actually,
might make more sense.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it actually kind of works if you think about it from that point of view. Oh, good. Ron did tell him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he looks very angry every time he speaks in
He
parcel
looks
tongue.
possessed.
I
just
I wish he would have failed the
Like,
first time
yeah.
because he looks at Ron. He's like, English.
Yeah.
Oh, and the top comes off, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how they designed it.
See, I think it should just open.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with it being a centerpiece.
Like it could have just that one
Like,
tap
a
open
door
up
could've-
like
yeah.
a door.
Like
or,
a,
like,
like a
just
hidden
roll
bookcase thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Or that first sink could have just done that.
done that because it does it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you don't need it that much
That-
bigger.
Yep.
And then it's a complete straight down drop. Excellent, Harry. Oh no, I'm not going down there. Good line, Ron. Better you than us. Yeah. Obviously. Yes. All right. Okay. Seriously, it's like those body water slides that just drops you and then you start sliding. Except that I can't guarantee the safety of going down and out.
Oh, I just got chills thinking like that stomach drop. Like I want to do that
I do
because
not.
knowing that it does turn into a slide, like
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Wait, where it just drops below you and then you start
Well, like
sliding?
it's just like a free fall almost, and then it turns into a slide.
There's a ride like that at Six Flags.
At the water park part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are like
Yeah.
water slides that do that. I am not allowed on those. Old.
Like seriously, she is so old. That's not entirely true.
No, but my neck is really bad.
I like that they have the little skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Like-
little bones or whatever I've been eating.
I like that Harry just says, "I'm leading."
I like
you
that
know?
it's tunnels like that. It's not like
It's like big metropolitan sewer stuff.
It was hard
Yeah.
for me not to imagine
Standpipe
this
stuff.
area not like at this point in the book, it was hard for me not to imagine this scene from the movie.
So look, this picture right here is so close to
the
the
illustration.
illustration of this chapter.
Mhm.
I like it so much. It has that slanted roof thing going on.
That was fun. Like I just fell
It's like
over.
such a silly
Uh-huh.
move,
It's so
but it
Gilderoy
would work
Lockhart.
on it would work on Ron too. Like
Right.
because he's like making a witty joke about it. It's like, oh, this layup or whatever he said.
Part of a lie in this one.
Yeah. Again, I get the movie does it. Do you have to go flying across the room every time you get hit or throw a like I don't know.
Here's the thing. I feel like this one time I'd be okay with that because it
this
was a
does
major
call the
backfire.
cave in.
I think if
Yes.
anything, it should be
But
like
if-
an explosion that knocks them all three away.
Well,
but
if this had been like the only time there was one of those like blast away kinds of things,
It would have been too
I was
much.
fine with this. But it's been too much building up to this
Right?
point.
Yeah, yeah. And my
Right.
point is with especially the dueling club, like those were it's just like come on,
Right.
no,
If they hadn't done those, this one I'd be fine with.
yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Really?
This is so good.
Who am I?
Odd place this. Do you live here?
that doesn't come until they come back, but
That was funny though.
yeah.
See, what do I do now? Movie Ron is
No.
wimpy. It should be Ron saying, I'm going to do this. Like, movie Ron doesn't earn his Gryffindorness. Sometimes.
This isn't how I imagined the door either.
I agree.
I imagined it an upright door with
Not a circle.
like a dome top, or not dome
Rounded top.
rounded top, and it said 2 snakes. I'm pretty sure.
This was, hey, you know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it is an interesting
I don't hate it,
door. It's not how I think about it whenever I read
but
it.
it's okay.
But
I'm okay with
it's
it.
fine.
I don't hate it.
End of chapter. Okay.
So my favorite scene was
So what was your
Lockhart being
favorite
silly.
line?
Do you live here? That was my favorite
I think
line.
that was my favorite
Do you
line.
live here? And then Ron just whacks him upside the head with a rock.
Do you live here?
It
Hello.
looks so grimy. It does look like he's in like a sewer system.
This is a little bit more sewer-y
Yeah.
than I
not
think it
as-
should be.
I
At least
agree.
that right there.
And that's not what. See, I
No.
thought they were columns with snakes around.
They
them.
are. They're. Yeah. That's how
And
it's
can I
described.
be annoyed that he had to climb down a wrought iron
I thought that too.
ladder when this was supposed to have been made 1,000 years ago?
Right. The
Before the
statue is just a big
industrial age.
head.
Yeah.
It's not the full statue.
Right.
Yeah, and
The
it's not,
snake
it
is-
doesn't go up into a ceiling of darkness.
This whole scene, I will say, is the biggest change.
Yeah. So
And it's-
curious.
It's just to get a whole lot of action at the end.
Yep.
And there wasn't that much action. Like
No.
it was more dialogue and things like that.
It
But that
was-
doesn't work for a
It
movie.
was a
unfortunately.
psychological thriller. That's not
Right.
true.
And
There are good psychological.
for the way they're setting this movie up, for everything
I
else we've seen,
know.
this is the way it has to be. And I don't dislike it. It's again maybe a little much.
See, I don't think they should have shown him picking that up. Wouldn't it have been cooler just for him to have it? Or do they need us to realize that he didn't have his own wand?
I think I'm okay with it. It's makes it very obvious. Like, hey,
I love how stoic he is.
Who, Tom?
Yeah, it is good.
they get much more quickly to the point here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't spend a lot of time.
So that definitely shows her opening up
Yeah.
the bathroom. Like logistic wise, like how
And painting the wall.
yeah.
I don't.
I like that too. That
Do you think that was actually like the Imperious curse that he was somehow doing on her?
I think
Or is there some
maybe
kind
a
of like
version of it.
possession? Like, is it different because it's a memory and it's soul swap kind of thing? I don't know. It's,
not defined enough for us to really know.
yeah. Maybe we'll dig into that at some point later. He's my friend. Voldemort played by 4 different actors.
4 or 5.
Young, younger, back of head, Ralph Fiennes.
Is
Ralph
there
Fiennes.
in movie 6? There's young, and then there's normal. Is there medium age between the two?
Yeah.
Like with Helga Hufflepuff part? Is it
No.
him again?
No,
Oh, 4?
they just have young.
Okay.
It's just young.
Okay.
And it's the same kid that is with Slughorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The kid with Slughorn's a different kid than this.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's the same kid as with the orphanage.
Yes.
Okay.
I like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is well
pretty
done.
Close.
And I think about it more, not the 3 lines, but the 1 line across.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did too.
But I don't mind this at all.
No, because
Just
I like that we're seeing
Visually,
it from the
it
back.
looks better.
Yes.
And I like that they're flaming letters. Like
And
it
they
just,
disappear.
it's very natural looking.
Yes.
Like this is how he would do it. Like, hey, let me show you. I did this whole big anagram trick. It's
Uh-huh.
neat. Like what I'm doing here, please.
There it is.
I don't like that.
No.
That's a little too on the nose, as they
Right.
say.
Oh, look. Poof.
I really
Proof.
liked what Riley was getting at.
I do
in-
too.
in
But in
that-
this moment, that line was bad.
It didn't work in the movie.
Right,
but
the idea in general of using Dumbledore's name in that loyalty way is what brings Fawkes. It's not necessarily giving Dumbledore loyalty.
and
It's
Fox doesn't land on his shoulder.
No. Does he at first?
Yeah.
Okay.
if that's a songbird, I'll take two.
Right. Can I borrow yours?
Oh yeah, I'll send you a Phoenix post.
That'd be great. Chase scene. I have like no comments about this. It's just a chase scene.
The snake, I think, is overly large.
You think?
No.
Well, it comes into the logistics problems that you and I have talked about
Yes.
in those chapters of a snake this size is never going to fit through pipes. Like actual bathroom
I
pipes.
imagined it bigger.
It's too dragony on the head. Like it should be more
Yeah.
snaky. I really don't dislike the look of the snake, but it's just a little too draconian.
A basilisk can petrify a ghost and a cat. Not a phoenix?
I think he went with his eyes closed.
Okay.
I think it would have made more sense if the phoenix flew up from behind it and landed on its head.
Right.
And then just like blindly just went after the eyes that way.
Right.
I think this scene is suffering from it trying to be too close to the movie or to the book.
This is not right here.
Well,
I mean,
But you
none of
mean
this
like
happens
up
in
to
the
this
movie.
point?
well, he says like you may have blinded it, but it can still like sense you.
In the book, he says it can smell you. Here, he says it can hear you.
Yeah.
This feels so video gamey
Yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, go hide in here and just don't move, and then do something to distract it. Like this feels, I don't know, like Resident Evil, like some kind of just old PS2 video game to me.
He's very long. He's not as thick as I thought he
That's
would be.
what I mean by big. Like I thought he'd
Like
be a
his
lot.
diameter would, yeah.
Really, for how thick he is, I think he should be longer.
Maybe. And I don't mind. Yeah, he just needs to-
Proportion feels off to me. But still, that snake's not fitting through any pipes outside of these gigantic sewer
Right.
stand pipes.
That's not how it worked.
That guy's very intense. Oh, and now we're back out of the water.
I like, again, put the hat on.
Yeah, because it's supposed to clunk you in the head.
I think the sword should be bigger.
Sword looks like
It looks like a
It's-
twig.
yeah. It's supposed to be heavy.
But
What is he-
balanced. Obviously, they didn't use the same sword makers as they do for some of the other.
I wonder what, looking at when the sword comes back later,
Oh, maybe.
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
It's definitely different.
I thought so.
The hilt is similar, but it's a lot bigger.
Yeah. Because he's a boy. Like, even a regular full-size sword, longsword, should be, like, huge to him.
Right.
I'm not saying a two-handed longsword or anything, but, like, just a normal
sword
man
should be
longsword.
And it looks bent there.
It looks plastic.
Yeah. See, in the movie, or in the book, he just grabs a sword, stabs the guy. Or
This stating on the statue. Like, come on. You see the tooth come out of the mouth with it. Like, not just as like you can actually see it leave the jaw.
Uh-huh. That I liked. I was okay with that.
This, a little much. Let's have the big video game boss death.
Yeah. All right, so Riddle's just going to let you climb down.
Yeah, and Riddle doesn't say anything.
So clearly he can't do anything. He can hold a wand, but he can't physically do anything else.
No,
Like
because she's not dead yet.
But if he can hold a wand, it's the same issue that you have with Professor Binns. Like,
Yes. How is he going to
how can he not intercede here?
Yeah, I don't know.
And we didn't get any of the "I'm here for you, Harry Potter." Like, this is what I want. Like,
Right.
you are
It's
really
just-
my true target.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Which we lose. I don't know. We lose a lot of
the
what I liked about
depth
him.
of the Tom Riddle character. I agree. Because he changed his reason for being after Ginny gave him that information of
Oh yeah.
I don't like that he does it in the open book.
he does it on both pages and then the cover.
And I imagined more violent spewing of ink,
Yeah.
like
And
fountains
less-
and fountains,
And him just sort of disappearing, not breaking it apart into light.
yeah.
This was one
See?
of those. Hey, we can do something that looks really cool
You
and it
know
looks
what
good
would
on
be cool?
screen.
Jeez. How about you just
They could have gone right to that, stab it, and
Right.
just have him explode like that.
poof, she's awake.
It was very dramatic.
Yep. She's finally going to get to talk.
Hello, Bonnie. Oh, I mean Ginny.
Right. That's who you are. I remember. Yeah, how about we fix that?
Have a good life. I'm about to die.
Yeah, that minute to live really lasted a while.
Well, Tom didn't know.
You know nothing, Tom Riddle.
What do you think of the Phoenix here?
Much better.
Still not how.
It's not how I pictured it. It's definitely a little bit more Turkey-ish
Yeah.
than I think. Like, just...
That's not. I don't. That's just not what I imagine a phoenix like. I think a phoenix is made of fire, but the way
Little
she
more
describes
Moltres,
it is
Pokemon style.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't describe it that way, but
I don't like that this happens after Riddle's gone.
no.
I agree. And that, again, changes the dynamic of Tom Riddle.
Right.
And the whole thing after the Basilisk dies, he's supposed to be like, well, no matter. I'm about to be full
Right.
power. You know, my status bar is about to hit 100%.
Right.
So I will just kill you myself. Which is what I would prefer it anyway.
Right.
So, different from the cover art there.
Yeah, but I'm okay
but
with it.
it's fine.
It's the same
Where are
idea.
they flying up? No, see,
Yeah, what is this? Like, where are they flying out of? This huge gorge.
it's like you could open up the bathroom, or you could just find this big hole right outside
Right?
of
Did no one see
Hogwarts.
this in the forest?
Yeah.
Or wherever this
Right.
gorge is? Because that was moonlight flooding in, wasn't
Hagrid,
it?
what is
yeah.
this? Oh, this is the hole that leads to the Chamber of Secrets.
It's cool.
Oh, I thought you did open this chamber. No, I just know where it's at. No one asked me about that. I don't give away information over necessarily. Thanks, Hagrid. I learned my lesson last book.
We miss.
There's no Weasleys.
No Weasleys in here.
No, that's okay. We can. I always like to assume that it happened.
This is after that.
Yes, because it is after that.
We missed the Harry sticking up for Ginny stuff, which is very good for the book, not needed in the movie.
No.
I think. Because we see his true heroism stuff.
Yes.
And Dumbledore's man through and through. It's gas.
No, that's you, Luke.
I am out of here almost.
I know. I just want to go play in his office. It'd be fun.
I like Richard Harris Dumbledore. He's
I know, that's a big hang up for you.
He's a little bit slower. He's a little bit older than I think Dumbledore acts.
His voice is a little wispy
voice
for
is
me.
too wispy.
I agree.
Oh, Harry. Yeah.
But I don't like
Should have been Sir Patrick Stewart.
Great actor.
Ian McKellen. No doubt in my mind.
Ian McKellen said no.
I know he did. Should have been.
No, I can't do it.
You can't be
can't
Gandalf
be
and
too.
Dumbledore.
You can't be
And
too
Magneto.
master. Yeah, no, you can't do it.
I agree that because he was Gandalf, he shouldn't be. But he
Patrick
would.
Stewart.
He
He'd be a
would
good
have been
second.
perfect as Dumbledore because he is the wizard of our actual world. I love Ian McKellen.
I do love
So
him.
good.
I just don't. I don't think it's because it's Gandalf. I just don't think he looks like I imagine Dumbledore. I don't know why.
Oh, I do. Because as soon as you take the Gandalf nose off.
Oh yeah. And he's got the whimsy. He's got the
That
funny.
is not the
he's
same
got
sword.
That he just used?
That's used later. That's the same one he just had.
Yeah. No, that's not the same sword as the last movies.
Not that we're spoiling anything, but the sword comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Seen
I know
movies,
about it.
Not read books. Yay! There he is again. With Dobby's prize. Shocker.
This pizza.
How do you know Dobby?
Yeah, thanks, Harry.
Way to out me.
Doesn't really explain why Dobby's with him. In the book, he's still trying to shine shoes, or you know what I mean. Like, It's like Lucius left so fast that Dobby didn't finish preparing his shoes shine. He ran after him because of that. This doesn't really explain.
I didn't get that. I don't remember that from the book.
Yeah,
I'm not
that
saying. I just.
Yeah,
I think I always gloss over that.
I've
Quickly.
glossed over other things. That's okay.
I like the idea of a part of the thing that I think you had the biggest problem with is the holes early on, like what set this whole thing in motion, right? I like the idea of Lucius having written in the diary at some point and was directed by old Tom Riddle. I need this diary to be back at Hogwarts. I like that idea.
Have a problem then of how Dobby knows.
Well, I think that sets into motion Lucius maybe acting through Draco or someone to instruct him or talking loudly to Draco about things that can happen, which then send in front of Dobby. I don't know why Dobby does it himself. I don't think he's sent.
I don't think he's sent either.
I think
if that's the
they're
theory,
very deliberately talking in front of him because they know that they don't trust him necessarily. I think Dobby's probably shown some kind of inclination at some point
I don't
of
think
dishonesty.
I think they have no concept of Dobby, that they don't even realize he's there.
And
I think Dobby went on his own.
That's fine too.
I like to believe that.
I like that. I actually like that better.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it makes a lot of sense that the memory of Tom Riddle started talking to Lucius.
I like that idea. I don't like the idea of Dobby being sent.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I think they maybe chose
They are
to
setting
talk loudly in front of him.
him up as such an evil big bad guy. But like, I mean, from what I know happens,
He's definitely a big part. I mean, he's definitely a key character.
Yeah, and I think you'll find in the books he's definitely a bigger baddie than.
the
I
movie.
mean, he's no
Okay.
Voldemort, but
Obviously.
He's a much more key villain moving forward. In later books, at least. There's Turkey Fox.
and he takes the diary and he runs after Mr. Malfoy. Mine. Seriously,
This-
love him in that moment. I don't know what you're talking about.
They did skip over the Mr. Malfoy. Don't you want to learn?
yeah,
how?"
they did.
Which is fine. That was kind of a silly line. I just thought it was funny in the books. Not needed.
Yes.
He handed him the whole diary.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is what happened in the
No.
book too.
No, it's not.
Does he throw it?
He throws it.
He takes out the sock
'Cause
and
he-
throws the sock.
That's right.
Doesn't he put the diary in the sock?
Yeah, he puts the sock. Harry puts
Yes.
the sock in the diary.
It's the
No.
other way around. He puts the diary inside
in
the dirty
socks.
sock, hands it to him. Malfoy pulls the diary out of the sock, throws the sock aside. Dobby catches it. Right?
I think the sock is like hanging out of the diary.
In the book, the diary is inside the sock.
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
I think you guys are wrong.
Malfoy takes it off,
Takes the
takes
book
the sock
out of the sock.
off the book, throws the sock aside. Dobby catches it.
I love that his wand. He has a
I don't-
wand sheath
He
too.
does, absolutely. Listen to this. Hold on. Clearly
Yep.
supposed to be Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Way
kill him.
too much.
Way, yeah. Up until that point, I loved it. Now I'm like, whoa, hold on, man. Turn it down.
Absolutely. I remember going to see this Thanksgiving of this
It was
year.
you and me, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. At that
And
point,
we were like,
because we had clearly already read book 3, maybe book 4 at this point.
oh yeah.
We
Book
had
four
to had to
came
be
out in
book 4.
2000.
Had to be book 4.
So we
right.
knew.
I was like, no. This is like so close to the end. I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't just pull a killing curse no, that's not gonna happen. No.
You're right. He stuffed the diary into the sock.
And this does the reverse. He puts the sock inside the diary,
That's how I imagine.
and he hands him the whole diary with the book with the sock in it.
Right. And now we have a great hall. It's supposed to be like the overnight feast,
Yeah.
but it was clearly
Yeah,
daylight
and I
outside
liked
with
that.
Lucius Malfoy.
I liked
the
the
all night up until 3 in the
They
morning.
woke everyone up to do it.
And look, there's Filch and his cat, and Nearly Headless Nick, and Hermione Granger.
I do think when Hagrid gets here, it's a little underdone from what the books do. I think the book does it better, and maybe I think they spend too much time on Hermione.
What I was saying earlier, Luke, was that how, you know how Hermione was like doing a lot in the movie, but in the book, when she goes away, there's only 4 chapters after she's gone.
But a lot happens in that.
But a lot happens. But in the movie, there's like an hour and a half, and so I think the reason why they made her do so much is because like they
I
are
get
seen
it
as
because
a
they
trio.
know that she's going to be gone,
Yeah.
and they're way overplaying that the trio has to do everything equally, and I get it. But it's
No, I agree.
it takes
It's
away some of the
extensive.
depth. It takes away some of the depth of the story, I think.
Nice hat, Dumbledore.
Very regal.
There's Flitwick. I feel like we've missed him.
He was
he was not.
He was in one scene
that?
earlier.
Who?
Was it a lady? I
Yes,
wasn't looking.
black
It
hair.
was Sinistra.
I don't know who that is.
The
It-
astronomy professor.
of the astronomy department.
Oh, sorry. And
Yeah.
astronomy professor.
Yeah, that was Professor Sinistra.
Okay,
Mentioned in the books very infrequently.
that lady.
Her. Yep,
Yeah.
that's Sinistra.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Prove.
That's not Robbie Coltrane.
No.
I'll prove it later.
Okay. Oh, Hagrid's back.
Why would
Why?
Errol be delivering the release paper? I
Why
don't like
was he
that.
at-
That's silly.
Hogwarts.
Why would the release paper? That makes no sense.
No, but it's funny.
I get it.
He's very tall. Ish.
It's a big bowl of peas.
I just like the floating candles.
And everybody around the room's watching this happen, and this is stupid.
Yeah, I don't like this
No.
scene.
No.
It's like the scene on the train at the end of the first movie where
Yeah,
it like
they-
wraps it up all neatly with a bow, and you're like, this is annoying.
The
Harry
movies
stands up to have a one-liner
early on, in my opinion, are not good at wrapping up the
I agree.
stories.
I don't know if the rest of them are either, but at least I agree with you on the first couple.
So far, it has not been.
Okay. There you go. We'll go that way.
Whenever Hagrid shows up, it's almost like there's like the quick, hey, one line back and forth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and let's
That's when they get the
clap.
whole clap.
Wow.
Like, that was fine. This too much. Sorry, Hagrid didn't do anything really in this movie.
Other than
In
not
the
be the bad guy.
movie
Right.
to be worth anything.
Hagrid just got expelled. He didn't actually hurt anybody. He just was not a good wizard.
He's actually going to go back and finish his degree now.
He
He's
should.
going to try to take over Madison Estates. This is Billy Madison Hagrid style.
Nice. I award you no points.
Like, oh, okay. Are you serious? I don't remember. I did not remember this about the movie at all. But I'm, like,
there was
angry about
clapping in the book for Hagrid when he got back.
I don't remember. Yeah, maybe
yeah,
the
they
biggest
like
cheer was
there was like a
when Hagrid-
line that says
That's what
like
I'm
they
saying.
clapped.
Like, and it was like Hagrid showed up.
Yay, he's back.
Harry
Okay, let's
said,
move
"There's
on.
no Hogwarts without you." Everyone claps besides the Slytherins.
Let's do a quick
That's it.
pan of each teacher to make sure they're getting their screen time.
Again, like Hagrid did
Nothing.
nothing. Like,
Nothing.
And I'm not
Nobody-
trying to hate on him.
Nope.
I'm hating on the choice that the
And
director
notice how
made
there's
here.
no end of the year feast. There's no winning of the house points. There's no,
I mean, that was
Yeah.
clearly the end of the year feast.
but there's no house points.
Right.
There's no decorations.
There's no 150,000,000 points to Harry and Gryffindor. You
get the
house cup and special award to the school.
He said Gryffindor wins the House Cup.
Yeah, he did say that.
But they did like continuity, guys. If you're gonna put the big,
They didn't change the banners.
they didn't have banners up. They didn't have any of it.
All right.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Riley, after reading the book and watching this movie again for the first time in a while.
Still
thoughts?
don't like the movie. Love the book. Honestly, really like the book a lot
Good.
more. I can see why there's like complaints about the movie.
Okay. Melissa, thoughts on the movie?
It's really hard to watch these movies.
Yeah.
Like, I loved them when they first came out,
Me
and
too.
I'm glad that we have them. But I would much rather read the book for pretty much every book ever. But especially Harry Potter.
Yeah, I agree. And I said this earlier, this movie does a better job, I think, overall to staying right along with what the book is doing. Like, it's almost word for word, almost too much
Right.
at times. But there was good consolidation that happened on several scenes. It's still, like, how does this take so long?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not for cutting things out just to make it shorter. There
No.
were probably some things that probably still could have been consolidated here, especially the long Quidditch scene.
That's my biggest issue with all the
there's-
movies in general. They take too long to do
the Christopher
things.
Columbus movies for sure.
There are some other ones. We're going to get to Buckbeak. It's going to be an issue.
Oh, yep, okay, yep. But
There's a gillyweed scene that I shudder at. So, like, just in general, I get that you're trying to be dramatic, but at the same time, it's so good it doesn't need it.
and these become long books.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So I get that things have to be changed. As long as it doesn't hurt the story, I'm fine with it. Or change who the characters are, I'm fine with it. Because that's really what the story is. It's who these characters are in this world that we've developed. The first movie did a pretty good job at creating the world.
Yes.
This movie
It's
did a good
visually
job.
Beautiful.
And this movie did a good job at creating more depth to some of these characters that we know. Not
Yeah.
just the hero trio.
Right.
You know, we've got more depth of secondary and tertiary characters,
Yes.
which is good. We got a lot from Filch. We got a lot from all of these characters. And And I like that. Still, I'd much rather read the book.
Yep. All right. All in favor of reading book 3?
I'm in.
In. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that wraps us up for the movie version of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We're going to take a 3-week hiatus, and we will be back on January 21st with Chapter 1, Owlpost, of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Join us then. Until that time,
Stay imaginary.
thanks.